Vegas, where the lights never fade and every night is showtime. Where cool was born and headliners always find a spotlight.
And now, two titans of black college football take center stage.
Jackson State, home of sweetness, ignited by prime. Grambling State, a dynasty built by Robinson, powered by Williams.
For the first time, this classic clash takes place in the entertainment capital of the world and reaches far beyond the turf. It's a reunion of culture, tradition, and showmanship.
Because Vegas has always known one thing. When you bring that spotlight, you better bring the show.
The lights, the legacy, the legends. The inaugural P&G Las Vegas HBCU Classic starts now.
From Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the P&G Las Vegas HBCU Classic presented by the Stephen Lackey family of companies. Fans have been filing in since Wednesday for this matchup of two behemoths in HBCU football, Jackson State taking on Grambling State. Hello, family. I'm James Haddon. Thank you so much for joining us. Jackson State has been one of the best teams in FCS for the past 2 seasons, unbeaten in their last 14 matchups. But Grambling State is the last team to beat JSU, and they're poised for an upset. But Jackson State has played in so many big games over the past couple of seasons, but new venues are also fun to play in. Huh, John?
Yeah, James, Jackson State knows all about playing on college football's biggest stages, but please follow me and allow me to show you this state-of-the-art venue. Allegiant Stadium, beyond awe-inspiring. With a price tag of nearly $2 billion, it is one of the most expensive on the entire planet. Now, yesterday, Jackson State's crew came in here, had a chance to look around and soak up the magic, but head coach T.C. Taylor says, yo, fellas, do not, and I repeat, do not get caught up in all the rapture. If you recall last year, Grambling State went in, pulled off the huge upset and knocked out Jackson State. But T.C. Taylor says, no, that will not happen this year. My guys are locked and loaded, and they're on a serious stone-cold business trip. So forget the fact Jackson State is the defending national champions. Yeah, the Tigers, these Tigers come in with a huge chip on their shoulder. They're ready to dish out some pain, some dominance, and trust me, yeah, a little bit of payback. All right, for more on the other side of the ball, let's check in with our superstar, Laurencia Moten, and the Grambling State Tigers.
Yeah, John, today's game is about so much more than football. Grambling State head coach Mickey Joseph told us earlier this week that this trip to Las Vegas is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for so many of his players. He spoke to his mom, and she told him, take my babies to the Strip, and he did just that. He took his team down to the Las Vegas Strip so that they could see all the famous attractions for themselves and gain memories far beyond the football field.
Sin City is ready for the SWAC. Jackson State and Grambling State. The matchup of these two giants next. The energy inside of Allegiant Stadium is electric as you would expect. Jackson State and Grambling State in the inaugural P&G Las Vegas HBCU Classic. Jackson State won the toss, deferred to the second half, so Grambling will receive the kickoff. And here we go.
The Sin City Showdown, baby, it is on.
Jordan Bride from the crest of his own end zone stays on his feet and takes it to the 30-yard line. That's where the Tigers will get things going. A 29-yard return for the sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. You see Zay T-Set this season just over 1,000 yards passing, and his coaches call him a warrior, John.
Yeah, that's right. Mickey Joseph, I played ball with Mickey in Nebraska. He was a star quarterback out in New Orleans. He loves what Zay T-Set is all about. He knows he's a leader out there on the field, and he knows when he gets cooking, defenses will pay the price.
Yeah, T-Set, who injured his left foot versus Texas Southern, decided to come back in that game. And now he hands off to Trey Bradford to get things started. Bradford bouncing it to the outside, and Bradford has 10-6 speed from high school. And you saw that speed on display. He was 4th in the state of Texas at the high school level. Almost was in the top 3 in the state finals, and he showcased that speed there for 45.
Well, James, Coach Mickey Joseph points out Bradford. He's a seasoned vet, bringing professionalism and leadership and speed to this offense. Good size, 6 foot 225. That is the way you want to come in as a big-time underdog. They're 20-point underdogs. They're coming in trying to set the tone. Nice start for those Tigers.
Ball's already in plus territory at the 25. It's Bradford again. He can't break to the outside. So the tackle made by Ashton Taylor. Today's starting lineups are brought to you by Ford. And here's the offense for Grambling State, already off to a great start. They average about 25 points per game. That's middle of the pack in the SWAC. But they have to put up a lot of points against Jackson State, who is top 2 in the SWAC in scoring.
But, James, I can't tell you how important it is to get some momentum. You're on the road, big venue, trying to shake off maybe some of the nerves. That kind of big play, opening on a drive, that can set the tone, but it also makes the Jackson State defense wake up. We'll see what they got.
After the loss of 2, and you see Mickey Joseph is not pleased.
Timeout, Grambling. Their first of the half.
So a timeout is taken. We'll take the timeout as well. Grambling State has 2nd down and 12 when we return.
The energy is contagious.
This game just got big.
That's how we do it, fellas.
And better.
I need to hear y'all a little bit more.
Because we're back.
It's still a party here on HBCU Go.
And this season,
Touchdown.
it's about the grit, the glory,
This conference is anybody's to take.
and the clash of champions.
Congratulations, you guys did it again.
Every game is our championship game.
The 2025 HBCU Go football season is here, only on HBCU Go.
Well, here's the last time Jackson State lost to an FCS opponent. It was to Grambling last year, September 21st, 2024. And Coach Mickey Joseph talked about that last matchup, about how his team was able to find some takeaways, and that was key in shutting down that offense. Their defense scored 2 touchdowns, and Coach T.C. Taylor told us that that's all we needed to remember going into this matchup. Didn't need to have any rah-rah speech. This is the last time to beat us. We got to get some get back. Byron Eaton in at running back. T-set fires. Ooh. Ball was in the hands of a defender. It was Frankie Dunn Jr. He couldn't pick it off. As today's defensive starting lineups also brought to you by Ford. But Frankie Dunn Jr. is a player that the coaches have talked about. He was a 3rd string player, then moved up to 2nd string, now has moved up to 1st string, and he's going to be unhappy with himself not getting this pick.
Hey, James, Zay T-set just telegraphed this from the snap. He got up in position and looked it straight in, so that one was almost easy money. Frankie Dunn Jr., right place, batting that bad boy down.
First 3rd down of the day for Grambling. T-set under immense pressure, and he is flung to the turf. Timon Wells with the sack.
James, I can tell you that big bad man right there, 6'1", 311 pounds. Mickey Joseph loves what his big boys can do, and they proved it on that. Watch this heat. Swarming gray jerseys. It was like an electric magnet right there, and the big man there to finish it off, and he slammed him down like the Rock was cooking back in the day.
So a loss of 13 means that Grambling is out of field goal range, and Travis Terrell Jr. stands around his own 10. Ball's booted high into the air, and a fair catch is taken by Terrell Jr. at the 14. So a 26-yard punt, no return. Jackson State's explosive offense on the field when we return. Terenzo Quinn drawing this up to perfection. You see big Jeremiah Williams in the middle, and as we run this, Ashton Taylor's going to fill the gap that Williams retreats from right around 2 to block 1. So Taylor goes right up. That forces T-set to spin out, and Timon Well cleans up T-set after the end of that. And John, when you have a defensive coordinator who's been really on his team about what he wants to see from them, you love when they can execute.
Yeah, give credit. Timon Wells, a big dude, able to move fast all the way around the end.
So Jacobian Morgan, starting quarterback for Jackson State, under center. Hands right off to begin. And a strong gain to get things started for JSU. Here's our starting lineups brought to you by Ford. This rushing attack is something to behold for JSU. They are second in FCS. 266 yards per game. Only Delaware State averages more yards on the ground. Now Jacobian Morgan through the air, flings towards Nate Rembert, but the ball falls incomplete and quickly third down.
James just a little off the mark, and that's rare that we've seen that young man off the mark, Jacobian Morgan, all season.
And here are today's starting lineups brought to you by Ford on the defensive end. It's third down and 3 for Jackson State, and Jamal Jordan along with Markel Lenzer trying to stop this high-powered offense. Terrell Jr. on the run. He has plenty of pace to get to the outside and picks up the first down for JSU.
And that's what these Tigers wearing gray today. JSU, they'll want to establish that running game because we've seen it, James. Jacobian Morgan has just been in a zone the last few games. He has been virtually unstoppable. So if you get that ground game going early, he's going to be even bigger, Black Superman.
On play action, Morgan fires. And a catch is made by Nate Rembert, the transfer from Mississippi Valley State by way of Edward Waters. And Rembert is really a guy.
Yeah, he's a go-to guy, and that's why Morgan able to roll out here, throwing across his body. But this is that kind of connect. When you have a quarterback in the zone, he can make all of his receivers on the money, in the seams, and make these great catches.
11-yard reception for Rembert. Now on first down. Terrell Jr. hits the hole and squirts forward for a slight gain. Terrell Jr., who was injured early on in the year in the opener, he's starting to get his feet back under him. He was an All-American last year for Jackson State as a kick returner, and you can really see his giddy-up when he gets going.
Absolutely, man. He is fun to watch.
6-yard gain on first down. Second down and 4 for Jackson State. First offensive possession for these Tigers. Morgan slips off to the right side. Janalen Dupree past a couple of defenders, and he excuses himself for a nice gain of 9.
Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Yeah, that is a great play. But these guys have had 2 weeks off, James, to game plan for this one. And when you got a guy like that that can catch the ball, Dupree out there shaking people, slimy, grimy, slippery, and getting those extra yards, that's how a dominant team wants to set the tone.
Blake Davis ends up making the tackle, but first down in plus territory now for JSU. Morgan looks to go long and just overthrows Travis Terrell Jr. Very hard to overthrow the speedster, but Morgan just too much touch on this ball.
Number 15 would love to have this one back. Double T, Travis Terrell gets out there, but just beyond his arms, made the great effort. But they'll be coming back to these home run balls. When they see that opening right there, they smell that little bit of fear in that backfield, they're going to go for it again and again.
Ahmad Miller now in the backfield, waiting for his first tote. Miller takes his time behind the line, but he's brought down for a loss. So Patrick Marshall, the senior from Shreveport, Louisiana, makes the tackle for loss, and it's third down and long.
Yeah, and you want to see for at least the GSU fans, Grambling State, they want to come out and try to slow down this high-powered offense. These brothers know how to put points up, and when you start to show cracks, it can be just a runaway freight train. So they want to stand strong on this first drive to let them know we came to play. Don't think this is going to be a day at the park.
On third down, again going deep.
Got it.
Nate Rembert rises for the snag, and Rembert rumbles inside the 10.
This is supreme execution, James Hadnot. Watch this as this one just develops. Calm, cool, and collected. Jacobian Morgan, look at the great adjustment on that route. Nate Rembert comes back, reverses field, huge pickup. These Tigers on a roll.
43-yard gain.
All alone.
And now walking in is Jacobian Morgan. Touchdown, Jackson State.
By air, by ground, This offense is stacked. Jacoby and Morgan, that is precision like a well-trained surgeon. Comes down, picking them apart, and then to finish, fellas, just let me tote this rock right into the end zone. Feeling like, yeah, superhero vibes.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for Morgan, and Jackson State's explosive as expected. A miscue on the hold. There's a new holder and a new place kicker, but Jackson State makes it happen, and the Tigers go up by a touchdown.
Jackson State looking like defending national champions on this drive. They hook up with Nate Rembert. Spectacular catch. Great run after the catch. And then the big man, 1-5. Jacoby and Morgan takes it to the house. Jackson State 7-0 first quarter.
This game just got big.
That's how we do it, fellas.
And better.
I need to hear y'all a little bit more.
Because we're back.
It's still a party here on HBCU Go.
And this season, it's about the grit, the glory.
This conference is anybody's to take.
And the clash of champions.
Congratulations, you guys did it again.
Every game is our championship game.
The 2025 HBCU Go football season is here, only on HBCU Go.
Jackson State in front, 7-0. Sonic Boom of the South, always bringing the noise. And Jacoby and Morgan playing to the standard. Now to us, he's playing at a high level, but his coaches says that's what we expect.
Yeah, when you set the bar high like that, and his coaches, they worked with him. We talked with him about 3 weeks ago. T.C. Taylor told us they were working on Morgan's footwork. They were trying to get him to step up in that pocket, shake some of the pressure. We've seen him over the last 2 games do that perfection. He is one of those guys that when he gets smoking, he is tough to slow down.
So a chance to return for Grambling State. And a nice return for Jay-Sean Johnson. Jackson State has been on fire the past 3 weeks. You think about that matchup versus Alabama State. That was one that they had to have in the SWAC East. And Jacoby and Morgan had 5 passing touchdowns. Overall, this team was going to be good, but some might say they're playing better than expected.
Yeah, they've got it going, and that momentum, that psyche, that confidence pours out of this team. They know what's expected. They look like business guys yesterday when we saw them during the walk-around. Wasn't a lot of rah-rah. They said, we're here to take business.
Second drive for Grambling after their first drive sputtered. Tony Phillips Jr. nowhere to go. And that's Reed Pulliam, the returner from last year. He was a part of the championship team, and he's been a leader since he stepped on campus.
Yeah, Reed Pulliam really stepping up. This guy is a great-sized linebacker, 6'3", nearly 230 pounds, and he can fly. Sideline to sideline. You have a great runner run like that. He runs him down from behind. He is not fearful of anything. He brings that heat.
Trey Bradford comes back in at running back. ZT set 0 for 1 on that first drive. It was a long run that took them into plus territory from Bradford, but then a sack of T-Set ended the drive. Now on second down and 12. T-Set fires and catch is made. That's the 30. Forward progress to the 32 for Nevada's Knighton. Reed Pulliam and Kamari Rogers teamed up for the stop.
James, you know both these teams are going to be barking out there a little bit. There's some salty feelings on both sides of the ball, but I loved what Mickey Joseph told me. Again, we played in Nebraska. I know Mickey's mindset. He's about stepping up and bringing it. He told me his crew is not intimidated by JSU, so they're probably feeling good after last year's upset. But today they have to come in and reestablish. Had that one big play on the opening drive, first play. They need to reset and come to bring some of that power.
0 for 1 on third down. This time on 3rd and 6, T-Set has a clean pocket, launches, and Keith Jones Jr. with the hands catch. Stop before the 50, but Jones Jr., a reception of 16 yards and a first down.
Gotta feel good. GSU, they're feeling like right now we've had a couple of big plays. We need that consistency. Let's get that going right now. But T-Set, great ball on that play, finding his receiver, moving those sticks. They need to keep this drive alive. Last time, a couple big plays, got deep in the territory of Jackson State, did not finish. They'll want to get some points this time.
Byron Eaton in for the first time. 2 tight ends for the Tigers on the edge of midfield at the 49. Eaton slips 1 tackle, holding on to his offensive line, but nowhere to go, a loss of 1. And there's the patience that Coach Joseph wants for Eaton Jr. Believes it's going to pop when he trusts his vision. Jackson State with good pursuit there, but it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's a lot of feel here, trying to look dancing here, just trying to be really slippery. The defense, though, just keeps coming. They just keep coming. And I'll tell you, when you've got a defense like this that is so stacked, you might find a little daylight, but they're not giving you much of a break. So unless you get going quick, they will be there to run you down.
Cam Silas doing the running down of Byron Eaton. Behind the chains once again are the G-men. T-Set just gets this snap. Launches to the outside. Ball falls incomplete. 3rd down and long upcoming once again. Intended target was Jordan Bride.
Yeah, not sure if there was a mix-up on their communication or he just got rid of that ball. But Jordan Bride was running that fly route, and T-Set just got rid of it, fired it out of bounds. But again, always better to live to fight another day than try to force a pass in there and get it picked off.
Grambling on the year. Just 36% on 3rd down. That's 9th out of 12 teams in the SWAC.
And that won't cut it against this team.
On 3rd down and 11, a free rusher. T-Set had to throw it quicker than he wanted, and the ball falls incomplete.
And he took a hit, James. That brother came in there untouched. T-Set already nursing that bruised foot. He's shaking up those marbles bouncing around his helmet right now. Let's hope he's all right. You can see this just coming inside here. Nobody even blocks on that front man coming in here, and he just punishes him. That's a tough break. So again, if you're going to let your front line collapse like that, your quarterback's going to have a very long day at the office.
Chase Ward came on the pressure. Now, as to be expected, high kicks. Don't want to give Travis Terrell Jr. any opportunity to return. So no return for Terrell Jr. 36-yard punt. Jackson State back to work.
Want to talk SWAC football with a friend? Just tell Siri. Call Jesse on speakerphone.
If I'm calling Jesse, I'm talking about this chess match between the 2 coordinators, Coach Rip Kirk and Jason Rollins. Coach Kirk obviously calls the plays for Jackson State in this high-powered offense, and Coach Rollins' job today is to try to quiet this loud for JSU. Jacobian Morgan throws behind Denario Davenport. Was that a backwards pass?
Looked like it might have been behind him. So that one, they're lucky it got out of bounds. But again, second time out in the flats, you'll see him pull up, quick turn to this should be an easy toss and catch. But this one kind of just sails to the right. Probably was a backwards pass, but does not make a difference. Goes right out of bounds.
Jackson State.
And Jackson State.
Of the half. 30-second timeout.
Jackson State calls the timeout. And so they lead 7-0. HBCU Go delivers the best in black college sports to your home or mobile device. Go to hbcugo.tv or download the TV app on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire for the full HBCU Go experience. And John, talking more about Rip Kirk as well as Manny Ramirez, who coaches the running backs and the offensive line, they are of one mind. And so the offense is always on fleek for Jackson State simply because of the way they are always together.
Yeah, a real well-oiled machine.
And you see the program history, too, of the Titans of HBCU football, Grambling and Jackson State, those HBCU titles. And can't also talk about those Hall of Famers. But now Jacobian Morgan is not in the game right now. That's Parker Stofa. Sends the ball towards Denario Davenport, and he has reversing field. That's trouble. Davenport works his way all the way for what looks to be a first down. So ran a lot and found a way to gain a first down. So you see Jacobian Morgan on the sideline trying to walk it off. Morgan obviously injured his leg and foot versus Southern Miss earlier this year. And so now he's going into the medical tent. So
yeah, that is not what the Jackson State staff, team, or fans want to see. You got your big guy limping around. They're hoping nothing serious, but let's wait and see on that one. We saw him, it looked like when he came off the field was signaling, man, this thing is painful.
So after the first down was picked up, Stofa eludes one tackle. Stofa to the 32. Here's Jacobian Morgan. Let's see this here. Hit up top, and
yeah, can't tell if that's an ankle, maybe a knee, but again, he was hit up top, but then he was kind of lifting his leg there as if that was injured. So maybe he tweaked a little something again. That might be something they can throw a little tape on, get him a couple of aspirin to rub on, and he could be back. But we'll wait and see, keep you posted.
So the redshirt freshman from Converse, Texas, hands off, and Denario Davenport goes into overdrive.
James is like somebody stuck some dynamite in that GSU front line. The G-men getting blown wide open. And then number 10, Denario Davenport, looking strong, big yardage, moving those chains. Without Jacobian Morgan in there, they're going to need some of that ground game to keep eating up those chunks.
22-yard pickup for Davenport. Stays in, does Denario, and he's loose again. Another first down for the transfer from Louisiana Tech. Has played also at Texas State and started his career at Kilgore Junior College.
How about the shake and bake? Watch the little shoulders here. The shimmy, the bake, the move, the fake out. That young people out there trying to play running back. That's how you look elusive and you shake people and make them wonder where the heck you went.
13-yard pickup for Davenport. In comes Amon Miller, fourth in the conference in rushing yards per game. Miller picks up the rush. Stofa goes deep. Oh! And the ball falls incomplete. Jameel Gardner Jr. was the intended receiver, but Blake Davis with the PBUs.
So good defense there. Not a bad ball at all coming off the bench. Stofa putting it out there just a little bit behind him. Hit him right in the face mask. Gardner Jr. turns for it, has to slow up. Again, if Stofa can put this one off, as you see it bonk right off his head, if Stofa puts that out 2 yards further, that is 6 points.
On second down, Stofa to pass again. Slipping a tackle. It's well done by Kobe Paul. It'll be a manageable third down.
Good job of getting some yards after that contact, leaping forward to rack up a couple more. It is third down, but they'll want to make sure they get this one. So again, the way Stofa's throwing the ball with confidence, they're probably going to try to get something out in the flat, just stretch it to get to that big marker out there for the first down.
Stofa will keep it and takes off. Parker Stofa, the red shirt freshman, shows his elusiveness, goes for 20.
How about this? The great fake in the middle. The kid, fresh off the bench, looking good through the air, looking great with his legs, but that was just a great fake to make the defense bite, and then he just almost broke this one free. I think if he just kept running left, he could have outrun that guy to the end zone, but I like the effort there. Kid's looking strong.
First down and goal from the 6. The handoff to Amon Miller. Flag comes in behind the play, usually in the area of holding. But for right now, Miller made his way to the pylon.
Offense, number 65, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That was Mason Barton, the sophomore from West Memphis, Arkansas. That takes the touchdown off the board. But what we like from Jackson State right now is really the way that they've been able to utilize the rushing attack, and this is not a good sight for Jackson State, as Jacobian Morgan is being helped to the locker room.
And not only out of the game, we're trying assistance.
So on the ground, Still being pushed for a couple yards was Ahmad Miller. Now the mindset for Jackson State has to be, how do we continue on the ground? That's been our bread and butter. We have plenty of different weapons, but now it's all on Coach Kirk to try to find those weapons and put them in the best position to be successful.
And James, on the other side of the ball, this is where the Grambling State defense, they can start making some adjustments. Going to be a different offensive attack without Jacoby and Morgan, their leader on and off the field, out there running the show. So the kid, again, looking strong, but it's a different layout.
On second down, pocket collapses, but Stofa out of it.
Run, young man, run.
Stofa slides at the 10. Was being chased by Bryce Cage, the transfer from Southeastern Louisiana. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 10.
James, number 12, in relief from Morgan. Parker Stofa, I love his field awareness. Now, again, we haven't seen his arm a lot this year, but I like the way that when he's in trouble, he can dance out of harm's way. Very elusive, so he will be a threat back there, showing that early.
Initiated the slide at the 12, so that's why the ball is spotted there. 3rd down and goal from the 12. Jackson State 3 for 3 on 3rd down, but Stofa was facing pressure, could not dot Nate Rembert.
Yeah, he had Rembert there, but you're right, James. They were breathing down his mouth. They were just coming right up in there. He had to rush that throw. Unfortunately, that pressure for Jackson State made it where he missed the mark. So look, right there in his face, got rid of it, did not get his man. Kind of got his block rocked a little bit, so he's getting a taste of SWAC football up close and personal.
So now it is Donovan Warren, newly instituted as the place kicker. Warren, a wobbler, finds the uprights, and Jackson State adds to their lead, up 10-0 on top of GSU.
Not the prettiest kick, but you know what, James? When they ring it up for 3 points, you don't get style points for how it looks, so they'll take that any way they can get it, and especially with their top quarterback right now in the locker room nursing some form of an injury. And again, for me, the concerning part of that, James, is the fact that not only did he have to take himself out of the game, he had to be helped to the locker room. So we'll wait to see and get some further reports. Hopefully they get some word to us, but again, hoping for the best. That kid's a superstar.
Yeah, Morgan was coming off those 5 passing touchdowns versus Alabama State, had the week off, and the coaching staff talked about the necessity of time off after he had the first injury versus Southern Miss, in which they were able to play Jared Lockhart versus Tuskegee, and then he was able to come back. So we'll see if Morgan can come back in this game. Ja'Shawn Johnson back to receive this kick. It was a 12-play, 71-yard drive. Over 5 minutes and 23 seconds for Jackson State to add to their lead after Jacoby and Morgan went out of the game after the drive's first play.
James, one of the things Mickey Joseph talked to me about when we were on the field yesterday was how he's reset and refreshed this roster. He's taken his time, cleared out guys. He only has 5 players from last year's roster, so he's tried to put his fingerprints, his culture on this, went into the portal, got a lot of new talent, so he's going to really use this year to start to ramp up, get confidence. The next couple of years is really what he's planning for.
He has a quarterback in Zay T-Set that played at Southern last year. T-Set actually started versus this Jackson State squad in the SWAC championship game and played well for a half. Jackson State had an avalanche of offense later on in the matchup, and so Coach Joseph believes in T-Set, says that he is tough as nails, and
yeah, he's a baller, man. Been battling, that bruised bone in his foot, but he's making solid starts today.
So Bradford on the give, gets back to the line of scrimmage. And when Coach Joseph talks about Zay T-Set, he talks about everything that he can do moving forward. So we'll take a break. First quarter has come to a close. Second quarter upcoming when we get back.
When you come to Grambling State for an education, what you'll find is the strength to overcome any challenge. It's not just about bouncing back. It's about rising higher together to aim for excellence and lead from anywhere. When you're in the right place, you can rewrite your story to become something more. because you're building something special. Your future.
Here in Vegas with head coach Mickey Joseph. Coach Joseph, you knew Jackson State was going to bring the pressure, but you told us earlier this week you are not intimidated. What are the takeaways from the first quarter, and what does your team need to do to get on the board?
Well, we got to finish drives, and we got to get a hat on the hat in a run game. But we got to finish drives, and we got to know it. We know when they're coming, so we got to do something different on third down. So we got to plan.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Coach Joseph going to have an adjustment for this offense because Jackson State on the 2 key third downs in the first quarter brought pressure. But, John, Grambling has also been behind the chains, which has given JSU a chance to bring that pressure.
That is exactly right. They will keep bringing that pressure all day, but Joseph knows every game in the SWAC is like a championship battle. Big mistake.
On the snap, the ball is free.
Wow.
And Jackson State has possession.
That is one thing Mickey J has been telling us. Against this caliber of a ball club, and especially against a team they now consider a rival, you cannot have these types of mistakes. Bad snap, James. We've seen that a couple of times today. That one just got away from T-Set. They end up Bradford kicks it forward. What a break. Jackson State gets a gift at the 24-yard line. This scrum there trying to get it. The gray jerseys all over it. So again, if you want any chance to beat this team, you cannot be just giving it up.
Ashton Taylor recovered the fumble. He finished last season on a tear with a tackle for loss in each of the last 4 games. Made plays in the SWAC championship game and the Celebration Bowl. He loves the big stage. And here in Vegas, recovers the fumble. Jackson State starts from the Grambling 24-yard line. Stofa to pass. Looking for Shamar. Savage was wide open. He had beaten Tyrell Raby, but Stofa off target.
Yeah, that's a tough one for a QB coming off the bench there. Savage is thinking to himself, man, I was already planning my touchdown dance. Almost pulls that one in. They will be going back to that play, but you can see that. Fades this one just a bit outside. The pink glove almost hauled it back in.
Terrell Jr. gets a chance on the ground, but the ball pops out. So Terrell Jr. puts the ball on the turf, and Grambling State picks it up.
A rare fumble by Travis Terrell, and I'll tell you what, one gift deserves another one apparently, because they hand that right back. Grambling State, this is when now you start to lock up. Watch this. He's trying to bounce this one outside, lost his footing, and then got swatted. The ball gets loose. Everybody scrambles, but the Grambling State defense sniffing this one out. Excellent job of getting that loose ball. A lot of jerseys there. So big, big break right there for the Grambling State team. Josh Darling all over that ball to vacuum it in and give his offense another chance for some life.
Sammy Draper, the freshman from San Antonio, punched it out, and Darling at the right place at the right time scooped it up. So on back-to-back plays, both teams exchanged turnovers, and Grambling State first down and 10 from their own 26. It's Trey Bradford. Jackson State's defense right in his grill really quickly.
James, I can see it out there. These guys get a little chippy, a little salty. I see some subtle, low-key pushing around, but this all stems from, we heard some word on the street that at one of their little events that they were together, somebody from Grambling State decided to step up and talk some big trash. They said, we're going to beat you guys by 20. Telling that to Jackson State. So maybe you don't want to be flapping your lips when defending national champs, but I would not give them board material any more than you ever need to.
If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will.
I like that, but you don't go barking at them when you're the underdog by 20. Got to sit on the field.
Fires to the outside, and that's Howard. Nicholas Howard makes the catch for a first down, and that's such a tough throw all the way across the field, but T-sets perfect.
Yeah, nice job of just using that strong left arm. Nice ball here. Good touch with the receiver coming back. So this is the kind of connection they want to get rolling. They want to start to establish that offense. Howard did a great job, as I say, coming back to the ball, helping his quarterback out to get that first down.
Now it's Bradford, hits the hold, and carries the pile for a gain of about 7. So tackle made by John Brown Jr. 2nd down and 3 upcoming.
So it's what Mickey Joseph said. They've done some nice movement of the ball, some big plays, but they are not finishing and they don't have that consistency. So they know that they can break through this defense from time to time, which is a very vulnerable defense, but they need that consistency with both their running and passing so they can finally start getting points on the board.
Officially a 6-yard gain, so 2nd down and 4. T-set on the play action. Unloads for Howard. And Nicholas Howard sees it just droop off his fingertips. Incomplete.
T-set wound up, let that one go. Howard was out there working hard for the money. Had about a half step here, so if this one's perfect, you can see this trying to drop it right in that bucket. Nearly completes it, but that is a great job of running your route, beating the defender, and making a shot to take that one to the end zone. Good coverage there by Kamari Rogers, but the mess up on the pass did not cash in.
1 for 3 on 3rd down are the Tigers. 3rd and 4, another low snap, and T-set throws to Knighton. Ball falls incomplete, but a flag comes in the secondary. We'll have to see if this gives Grambling State a fresh set of downs.
James, I can tell you, Mickey Joseph right now.
Holding defense, number 19. 10-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Grambling State will take that one, but Mickey J on that sideline is probably losing his mind right now. That is the 3rd time we've seen a tough snap almost get away from them, but then they try to complete this one and set it up off the mark, but the penalty moves the stick. So Grambling State, following that turnover, now trying to take advantage of this, moving that ball into Jackson State territory.
Hook and hold on Frankie Dunn Jr. So now Trey Bradford slips free. Bradford takes it to the 20. 2 flags come in. But a gain of 23 for Trey Bradford, the transfer from LSU. And Mickey Joseph is beside himself on the GSU sideline.
Yeah. Yeah, Mickey J, a high-energy brother, focused, loves structure. When you start making the mistakes, that will blow his lid. But he's seen some good moments from his team, but then he sees this.
There were 2 fouls on the play, both against the offense. Holding, number 4. That penalty was declined. Holding, number 40. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 1st down.
So the penalty going on the tight end, Kobe Brown. And that pushes Grambling State back towards midfield.
Yeah, you see him tying him up out there. You start to grab that jersey and then you loop the arm around. Look, that's even worse out there. So again, these guys trying to do their job, but yanking on the jerseys right in front of the stripes, you're going to get called on that. And now Grambling State moving that ball in the wrong direction. 1st down, 15.
Ball on the 48 of Jackson State. We're in the 2nd quarter. JSU took a 10-0 lead, but their quarterback Jacobian Morgan is in the locker room. And Coach Joseph and company will call their 2nd timeout of the half.
Timeout.
Mickey J talking it over with his fellas, saying, let's get our heads on, let's get back in this ball game.
Here in Las Vegas in Allegiant Stadium, I am joined by the extraordinary Dr. Charles McClellan, SWAC Commissioner. Dr. McClellan, this is a historic day for the conference. Talk to me about how this partnership came to be.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for being here. You always do a good job for us with the Southwestern Athletic Conference. But there's several members of the Las Vegas Visitors Convention Bureau, the president, as well as Mrs. Morgan, the president of the Las Vegas Raiders. We had a conversation earlier. Actually, when I was chair of the Division I Men's Basketball Committee, my site visit was Vegas for the Final Four. And in that process, we talked about bringing a game here. And you look around, 40,000 people, Grambling, Jackson, it's a beautiful thing.
It definitely is. You talked about HBCU Go, the partnership, right, that we have between each other. How has that helped expand the SWAC conference as a whole?
Well, I think this is a testament of that expansion, to be able to show our brand on the West Coast, to be able to show what HBCU is all about. Go put us in that category, put us in that position to be able to do the things that we're doing now. The national platform you've given us, we cannot pay for the level of exposure you've given the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
I'm sure I speak for everyone, and we are so happy to have this partnership. My final question, looking ahead, what exciting opportunities do you have in store for us?
Well, we just want to continue to grow. These types of games are games that we think are good for the conference, good for our television partners, and we want to continue to put a quality product on the field. Winning that Celebration Bowl is critically important. It's a very arduous process for our teams to be able to get there based on our schedule. We want to continue to grow, be competitive, and play good football.
Thank you so much, Dr. McClellan, and congratulations on everything you've been able to do. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you so much, Dr. McClellan. You talk about that Celebration Bowl. Jackson State has won it in recent years, going back to last year. Florida A&M 2 years ago. And now Zay T-set a bullet to Tyson George. Big pickup. It was first down and 15, but Grambling State was able to make do.
Zay T-set standing strong in that pocket. He took a licking. And look at Tyson George. He keeps on ticking, so this is great poise. Watch him there. He knows bodies are coming at him. He fires a frozen rope to Tyson George. Big pickup. They needed that because they were going long.
Byron Eaton Jr. in at running back. First down from the 29.
And snap again.
T-set pointing, throwing. George can't get to this, but overall for Grambling State, you talk about it, John, when there's a low snap, it messes up the operation of the offense, and you really haven't been able to see how this Grambling State offense can really get to if they aren't having everything calmly in their starting of the play.
Yeah, man. T-set, you cannot blame him on that one. That low snap, and we've seen that, has become kind of a plague for these guys. So he wasn't able to set his feet and get the pass off because with that pressure from the Jackson State defense, you can't be messing around on the snap.
Second down and 10, 5 wide for Grambling. T-set fires behind his intended wide receiver, and you see just the miscommunication between him and Keith Jones Jr. Third down.
Yeah, miscommunication because, again, T-set wanted to get rid of that one quickly. Jones on that hard slant across the middle. But, again, somehow they might have miscommunicated something on different pages, so they cannot connect on that one. It is third down. They've got to start really locking in, making the most of this opportunity being deep in Jackson State territory.
This drive started because of a turnover. And Grambling State trying to take advantage of the takeaway. Third down and long for Grambling. Clean snap this time. T-set tries to step up, but he is going down.
Another flag.
Flag comes in. Another free rusher for JSU as Terenzo Quinn is calling an excellent game up to this point.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense, number 52. Penalty of decline, fourth down.
So Aaron Mahoney Bean is the guilty party, but you see the worst sight.
Man,
if you're a fan of Jackson State, Jacobian Morgan on crutches and in a walking boot on that left foot. And Laurencia has more on the superstar quarterback for JSU.
Yeah, gentlemen, James, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I just saw Jacobian Morgan coming out of the locker room, obviously extremely emotional, understanding how important this game means to him, but the entire program. He is on crutches and in a walking boot. He will not be returning to the contest. That's all I have for you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Laurencia. Theodore Calabero is ready to take this 48-yard field goal. 3 for 4 on the season. Calabero, not enough as it doesn't squeak inside that upright. So Grambling does not get anything from the takeaway. Jackson State will come back on offense when we return without their starting quarterback. you see poor operation on the field goal attempt for Grambling State. Calabero going early, also laces to him, not away from him, as you would hope. And so Grambling State could not take advantage of the takeaway. And Ahmad Miller is back there with Parker Stofa. Jackson State back on offense after fumbling on their last drive. Ahmad Miller can't squirt through. Picks up a couple. For those just joining us, Jacobian Morgan, starting quarterback for Jackson State, in a walking boot and on crutches, went out after a drive earlier in the game. And Parker Stofa is in, orchestrated a scoring drive that led to a field goal. But now he will be in for the remainder of the contest. So on 2nd down and 8. Ahmad Miller trying to scoot through a tackle, but Josh Darling had him in his grasp and wasn't going to let him go.
Yeah, they really want to establish this run game now. And James, I can't tell you what an emotional and physical blow it is to have Jacobian Morgan out of the ball game. He is a leader on and off the field, but they always have to be next man up, and that's what T.C. Taylor teaches these guys. The standard is the standard, but when you have a superstar like that, a preseason player of the year candidate, that's a tough blow.
Stofa unloads.
Nice.
Janalen Dupree. A humongous grab for Dupree of 47 yards.
Redshirt freshman Parker Stofa stepping in strong for the superstar. And look at this pass on the money. Nate Rembert nearly breaks this one, almost regained his footage, but that is the kind of jolt that you can help your team out. When you're in that hole, you got a starting quarterback out. Nice to have a backup. Redshirt freshman feeling the magic.
Stofa had thrown just 3 passes coming into today. Now Stofa is 2 for 5 for 53 yards, and this big first down inside the red zone. Whistles blown.
James, this kid Stofa looks confident. I mean, the way he's running the ball and the way he's orchestrating the offense, he's been studying what Jacobian Morgan's doing.
There's
and he looks
no
good.
delay of game. The holdup was because of the officials. Reset the play clock to 25 seconds. Start the play clock and the game clock on my signal.
I love a brother who'll take responsibility.
That's what you do, especially as a leader with the white hat on. You got to take responsibility for everybody under your direction. Clock runs under 8 minutes. Jackson State on the move, looking to add to their 2-score lead. Ahmad Miller tries the left side. Miller is downed. And that was Blake Davis who started things defensively. Davis is a player that the coaches have talked a lot about. He transferred from San Jose State, a kid from the West Coast, making some plays here back on this West Coast.
Yeah, like what Blake Davis is about. He's got a good nose for the ball, good defender, also can come up and make the big hits. He's a big anchor on that Grambling State defense.
J.C. Riley goes in motion. Ball over the head of Stofa. He just falls on it. And that's going to be a sack by John Horton. Fumble recovery, loss of 11.
Yeah, just didn't get a handle on that one. A tough one for Stofa. Was probably thinking ahead, looking at that defense. Didn't really, he sees it coming, but just a hard snap. Squirts through his hands like a greased pig there. So that one hurts after that great connect they had out there. They have to now take a back seat, moving in the wrong direction, 3rd down and long.
Stofa's knee was down, so it's just going to go down as a fumble. And now a timeout is taken.
Jackson State, their second of the half. Timeout.
So a second timeout taken by Jackson State, just to give them a chance to regroup. Las Vegas is where we are. Jackson State and Grambling State putting on a show. It's almost time for the Capital One halftime showcase, and in Vegas, the lights don't just shine, they march.
That's what
Get
we're
ready
talking about.
for Grambling State's world-famed Tiger Marching Band and Jackson State Sonic Boom of the South. The Strip's never seen legends like this. A spectacle of sound, style, and pure HBCU pride. You can bet we're all in for this one.
That is what we're talking about. They are trained like fine Olympic athletes. They will blow the roof off this joint.
Parker Stofa on third down. Pocket collapsing, and that's a sack. Grambling State steps up. Warren Robinson brings down Stofa.
Literally putting him in a vice grip. That is what you do with your defense. When you want to get some juice flowing, come in here, swallow him up like a great white shark, just to put the pounding down and reestablish some of that momentum. So again, Stofa had no shot here. He's got his big booty of his own offensive lineman up in front of him and got defense breathing down on him. Grambling State resetting the tone right there. That is how you stop a drive.
Warren Robinson had 4 sacks last year at East Texas A&M. He already has 6 this season.
Timeout. Jackson State, your third and final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Jackson State calls a timeout. So that's their last timeout of the half. And this epic HBCU showdown and all the rest of the fantastic sports coverage that we broadcast on HBCU Go is also available on the Sports.TV app. Sports.TV has the most free sports channels available. Go to Sports.TV to watch now or download on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And John, that's a huge stop for Grambling State, because after the big throw, you think that Jackson is going to go in for a touchdown potentially, but that sack really puts them in a precarious position for a field goal.
Well, James, you're absolutely right. I mean, you want to try and do something to slow these guys down any way you can. So a big play on defense, a big monster mash in the middle, that really takes the wind out of their sails. And they were going to maybe try that 50-yard field goal. T.C. Taylor rethought it. They're going to punt this one away.
So they decide to punt, and that's why they take the timeout. And you've seen a lot of high, low, difficult snaps for whether it's the punter or the quarterbacks to take advantage of. Donovan Warren just gets that away. A 26-yard punt, no return. Well, we're in the home of the Raiders. Gives us a chance to talk about some of the Pro Football Hall of Famers.
Legends
from HBCUs. You see Jerry Rice, Willie Brown attended Grambling State, one of 4 Hall of Famers from GSU, and also Art Shell, the first head coach in the history of the NFL that was African American. History, HBCUs, and Las Vegas all intertwined.
And when you do your research on history, the Las Vegas Raiders, they have been an integral part of really integrating this league. Brought in the first black football coach, the first Hispanic football coach, and also executives as well. So Al Davis, now his son Mark Davis, they have been very, very progressive, and they are really part of this. So happy to be in partnership with this Raider team.
First down run for Trey Bradford. It's a gain of 5. And Mark Davis at the opening press conference talked about his father, Al Davis, how he used to have conversations with Eddie Robinson about players, and talking late at night, early in the morning for Robinson, of course. But for Coach Davis, it was huge for him to bring those type of players to this type of not only venue, but just into the NFL. And Eddie Robinson, more than 200 NFL players that he coached for Grambling State, and a first down picked up by the Tigers right there.
And James, you talk about it. Al Davis, always a renegade in the NFL. He's not one of the favorites as far as a guy, because he can come in with a bat. He used to shake it up, move the Raiders around because he didn't like this. And he said, I don't care, black players, black coaches, to me, I'm colorblind. I will make my choice based on talent, and that's where we're at.
Trey Bradford, nowhere to go behind the line, and avalanche of gray jerseys bring him down. And Grambling State, they've shown flashes today, but have not been able to really work the way down the field as they've hoped because of this strong JSU defense.
Well, yeah, when you've got a defense like this, finding cracks few and far between, but we've seen that Grambling State, the opening play on the opening drive, busted a 40-plus yard run. They've had some long passes, been off the mark a couple times, so they found some of those nuanced places, but they just have not been consistent, James, to take advantage and get the points on the board.
Loss of 1 for Grambling. T-set quick throw this time. Caught by Baron Miles Jr. He's short of a first down by about 2 yards.
So they're going to really have to start eating some chunks up. Got about 4 minutes to go. Have not completely established this offense, but they may want to start taking some strikes down the field because, again, big plays can give them that energy, but also get the ball where they need it. They need to get in scoring position, get some points on the board before the halftime would be crucial to Grambling State coming in and reestablishing what they can do.
3rd down and 2. Under 4 minutes to play. T-set gives to Andre Cruz, and Cruz crunching forward. Shorts by inches. And they are moving the sticks. Yeah. So look to be short.
Got a friendly spot.
Give him that spot. So it's a first down picked up for Grambling.
And at this point, Grambling taking it any way they can get it. Mickey J telling us he really needs to get this offense reestablished. He knows that he has some talent. A lot of young guys, and that does make a difference because then you see the mistakes. We've watched some of those. The bad snaps, some of the miscues, the turnovers. So Mickey J trying to get his guys locked in. Let's see if they can get some points on the board before the break.
Just their third down picked up on the day. T-set snacks this with one hand, fires it quickly. And Zay T-set, who also played some baseball in high school, showcasing his athleticism to whip that one out quickly.
Yeah, man, that was like a Harlem Globetrotters move there. But you've seen that all day, these snaps. And, you know, James, you know, if you keep dancing with the devil, one of these days he's going to follow you home. These guys on those snaps, it's going to cost them if they keep that up. Want to fix that. Halftime, they got to maybe snap the ball in the locker room, see if we can get some clean snaps.
2nd down and 3 after 7-yard pickup. Tyson George goes in motion. Faked on the pop pass. Got him. 2 men open. 1 man grabs it. Cavanis Knighton racing into the end zone. Touchdown. 59 yards.
Cavanis Knighton, make your mama proud. Put the big paw in the air and pulled that one in. And then watch this for the big man. Tight ends, you don't usually see them shaking, moving, baking, and cutting back. But watch Knighton here. The nice ball. T-set just lays it out. And Knighton, look at that big paw in the air, hauling it in. But watch this. Plants his foot, turns to his left. Then he breaks it off one more time. That is outstanding. 6'2", 280 pounds. Looking like a moneymaker here in Vegas.
Whistles blown.
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty, traffic point.
So delay of game, you see Coach Joseph is furious. Don't want to make things any harder on yourself than they need to be. So after the touchdown, the all-important extra point to make this a 3-point game. And it's Calabero from 25 yards out. Ball is up, and it was blocked.
Wow, man. You finally get your break in the dam. You finally get your big play. And then you get the penalty and then the block.
The Sonic Boom of the South, ready to roll.
To Grambling State for an education, what you'll find is the strength to overcome any challenge. It's not just about bouncing back. It's about rising higher together to aim for excellence and lead from anywhere. When you're in the right place, you can rewrite your story to become something more because you're building something special. Your future.
Zay T-set had plenty of options, and for T-sets, he found one of the 2. You see, everybody was fooled. 4 different players on the play action, and Kavadas Knight decided I was going to make this catch and wanted to find his way into the end zone, John.
Yeah, that was an excellent run after the catch, but as you pointed out, 2 receivers wide open. Big number 9 hauls it in, makes it money in the bank, but right now a 4-point game. So, James, we talked about them needing a spark before the half. That is exactly what you want, a 59-yard touchdown. Unfortunately for them, they blow the PAT, but they are back in business.
Grambling to kick it off. Ball is in the air, and this will be returned. So Eric Simmons down near the 10. And you can feel the juice coming from the Grambling sideline.
Yeah, man, that is an energy play. You see that gentleman right there in the front? That is Tony Samuels, one of Mickey J and my former coaches at Nebraska.
Well, let's take a look at today's band playlist brought to you by Honda. Dreams are unstoppable. And for the world-famed Tiger Marching Band, that Deja Vu from Beyonce. She's been here a couple of times, whether it's for her Renaissance tour. And then also Snap Your Fingers, E40 Lil Jon. He's always here with a residency in Vegas, so an homage. And now for the Sonic Boom of the South, plenty of hits. So make sure you're seated for that performance.
Maybe in your seat, you can stand up. Stand up all halftime long for this magic.
Denario Davenport, another shake and bake as he finds himself airborne, as he often does. A pickup of 11 and a first down.
Well, that's what you want to do, deep in your own territory. Hand it off, get a nice chunk of change, move those sticks. They've still got some time, so with a minute 30 left, they can do some damage here if they want to open it up.
On first down, another throw. This one is caught. And Nate Rembert doing a great job of getting to the sideline. A flag's going to come in. Rembert looked to have picked up the first down, but a flag in front of T.C. Taylor.
Yeah, that's what both these teams want to make sure you're not getting sloppy out here.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
So not only does Rembert get out of bounds
for an injured player
and pick up the 10 yards, and added 15 on the face mask, and John Horton is the man that's on the ground for Grambling State.
So you see, let's take a look and see what happens here. So he's reaching out. Yeah, it's more of kind of a I guess a horse collar than any type of face mask. So again, in real time, might have looked like his face mask. On the replay, it did not look like a face mask. Yeah, Mickey J saying, you grab his face mask. Come on, get your heads on straight. But this is one of the best, if not the best, SWAC crew. So Mickey J is going to bark at him. But that one, if they could see that on a replay, it might be overturned, but they don't do that.
So John Horton able to get off the field. And wow, look at this. Machine. John and Mickey Joseph know each other very well. And look at these throwbacks. These are great pictures, John.
Hey, man, I'll tell you, Mickey J, when he came in as a freshman, he acted like he was a starter. So I love Mickey's energy. Had some fun playing with him back with the Huskers.
Denario Davenport makes the catch. Tyrell Raby makes the tackle. Clock runs under a minute 15 on this snap. Jackson State's leading by 4, trying to take advantage of this possession. They will get the ball to start the second half. Stofa in the grips of a Tiger. And that's Warren Robinson, his second sack of the day.
Parker Stofa, he's getting one of those introductions into SWAC play. Watch this high-low bam. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, my back feels a little bit of pain after that one. Great defensive pressure. I'm telling you, that energy from that touchdown sparking this whole Grambling State team.
Now Stofa fires. And this catch made by Jamil Gardner Jr. First time we hear from him today. Jackson State has no timeouts.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense, number 65. 15-yard penalty, replay, third down.
So this penalty really going to hurt JSU, because it was going to be a manageable situation. But you have the sack and then this penalty pushing the Tigers farther back. And what looked like they might be able to find some points at the end of the half, Grambling State trying to hold.
James, you and I, we've had plenty of conversations with T.C. Taylor. He's all about discipline, all about dominance. When things like that right there happen, that drives him crazy because they had a chance maybe to get 3, if not 7 on the board.
So Stofa will hand off to Ahmad Miller on 3rd and 29. Grambling State does have one timeout if they decide to use it.
You can't take it with you to halftime, so why not?
But the clock continues to run. And now they'll take that timeout.
Well, James, let's talk about it for a half second here. At 10-6, Grambling State has to be feeling pretty good about where they're sitting. They've had mistakes, turnover, but they're only 4 points down. If they don't miss that PAT, they are a one-score ball game with the defending national champions. So again, no minor victories in the first half especially, but the bottom line is they now have some momentum going into halftime. Reset thinking, we can play with these bad boys.
Call that timeout. You force Jackson State to punt it away and give your returner a chance. Also, with the way things have happened on the snaps, especially the last time that Jackson State had to snap the football, it was a high snap brought down by Donovan Warren. And so now
Grambling bringing the wood. Look at everybody lined up in there in front. They want to try to get a piece of this ball.
Gerardo Beza is the punter. Clean snap to him, and it's blocked! Wow. Grambling State blocks the punt, and will have the ball inside the 10 with a chance to score before half.
Wow! James had not. That is what they lined up. They said, we're bringing the pressure, and look at the big swat down. That is spectacular. What a play to put the pressure on, unblocked. He smothered that one, and now Grambling State back in business, looking to take this one in for 3, if not 7.
Clyde McClendon Jr., the running back playing special teams, raced into the backfield for that punt block. First down and goal from the 7 for Grambling State.
So, James, with no timeouts, they probably have time for 2 plays. You don't want to mess around on this first one, but they have time to run 2 plays if they run it correctly. So let's try to get it in the end zone is the philosophy. Then if you don't, you shut that thing down and get those 3 points. That was a hell of a play by this Grambling State defense.
Keith Jones Jr. at the bottom of your screen leads this team in receiving touchdowns. On 1st and goal, it's a poor snap. T-set throws it towards the end zone. Ball hits with 3 seconds remaining. And Jackson State, wow, they almost got out of Dodge. But Grambling happy that they'll have at least a chance for a field goal.
We've seen these funky snaps all day. And I can tell you, T-set was looking off to the side, barking signals when that ball came through. So maybe they snapped it early. That was near disaster. Again, save the day. If they wouldn't have gotten any points off this, that would have been a complete blunder. But that's not what you want to do. They'll take this 3. They're back in this game. Mickey J said, my guys are not intimidated. They're bringing some heat right now.
So Caballero with a chance. And the ball is up and good. So the only difference is the blocked extra point by Jackson State on the prior possession. We go to halftime with Jackson State leading by a point on top of Grambling.
James, what a crazy first half. You see Jackson State dominating early, but then their quarterback, Jacoby Morgan, goes out. And then Grambling State, towards the end of this second quarter, starting to get that momentum. Big touchdown pass, block, punt. Then they get 3 points. So it's a 1-point game, James. This is exciting. This is what we hope for. We're getting it. The Sin City Showdown, baby. And now, time for the Battle of the Bands.
Grambling and Jackson State, 2 titans of HBCU football, duking it out in Sin City. JSU leading by 1.
A huge part of HBCU culture definitely revolves around food. We've brought you great stories from the tailgate parties to restaurants and even a seafood food truck. Well, this time, we bring you the story of a community coffee shop. 5 friends from Xavier University formed an investment group that percolated into the Black Coffee Company.
Our CFO, his name is Dr. Leonard Lightfoot. Then we have Brandon Cole, Gino Jones, and Christopher Bolden. All 5 attended Xavier University, and that's where we initially came together. That experience had a tremendous impact on us. We came from South Central Los Angeles to this small southern city, and we were embraced. It changed our trajectory. So we started an investment club in 2015, inspired by the Motown story. Barry Gordy went to his parents and was able to borrow $800 from their family savings and loan program to launch what we know as Motown. For us, that was the initial plan of how we could start. And over time, we grew that investment, we had success, but that wasn't enough. We wanted to start a business so that we could have a direct impact in the community. I had the business education, but she had the real small business experience.
I was an event planner. I owned my own event planning company called Belladonna Events. I did that for about 15 years. So I brought all of that to this that you see now.
She inspired me to really go out on faith and take it from being an investment club into truly a business. So I leaned heavily on her experience, and my brothers, they all were thankful for her. We all have different zones of genius, is something she likes to say. I'd have to go credit to Dr. Leonard Lightfoot. That's one of my business partners, and we were beating our heads after having a little bit of success with our investment club. It was like, okay, we need to do more. He actually suggested coffee. An old, true industry that actually started with black people was something that revolutionized it for us all. Coffee actually came from Ethiopia, but we wanted to honor the roots. This was a way to not only shine a light on our culture, our heritage, but also be a part of a commodity. Coffee is the second traded commodity on the planet after oil. For me, it was a no-brainer. And then you also look at most of the corporations, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and such. None of the C-suite people were black. They didn't look like us. Coffee started with us. So I was like, here's my opportunity to carve out a niche.
The pandemic, it came and it changed the trajectory of all of our lives. My full-time job furloughed me. My event planning company, that was done. Everyone postponed, canceled. But the only place that you could actually do a pop-up that one of our founders happened to live in was Atlanta, Georgia. Jamin is a great internet surfer and found a pop-up at Killer Mike's Swag Shop. Sent it to our founder here and said, hey, I think this is an opportunity. It was on Juneteenth. They went, they executed, and a few weeks later we got a message from Killer Mike himself that said, hey, I know a developer that has a building he's working on and would love a coffee shop in it. Would you be interested? So I say it chose us. We didn't choose it. We came here. The lease payment wasn't crazy. We took the leap.
This whole business concept was about how we could create a model that you can apply to any industry. And like you're thinking about building with people, then if you have a financial freedom mindset of saving your money, investing, and pooling those resources with others, you can truly empower the community.
The brick and mortars are doing amazing. Morehouse, they have accepted us with wide open arms. When we came here, what I like to tell people is like we built what we needed. And we did the same thing at Morehouse. You know, those boys, they left home, they left their safety zones. And so we've created that in a coffee shop, which I think that's what coffee shops once were. We kind of lost that. It became really transactional.
It's just so impressive to be a part of this larger HBCU community. You know, I'm a Xavierite and proud to the day I die, but I'm a part of a larger family. It's about having an impact, and that's what we're doing by providing space. Yes, our coffee is delicious. Yes, our food is amazing. You get the best customer service. But when you combine that with a physical space where you're celebrated, where you feel welcome, where we have programming, we're offering Bible study in our different spaces. We have queer women's book clubs that come together. We have poetry readings and different music showcases, all did program at both of our spaces. It's an amazing journey. We created what we needed, the community that we needed, and that's kind of lifted us and so many others.
Be sure to check out the Black Coffee Company on your next trip to Atlanta on the campus of Morehouse College. Stay right here. There's more of the Halftime Showcase coming up.
When you come to Grambling State for an education, what you'll find is the strength to overcome any challenge. It's not just about bouncing back. It's about rising higher together to aim for excellence and lead from anywhere. When you're in the right place, you can rewrite your story to become something more because you're building something special. Your future.
The energy is contagious.
This game just got big.
That's how we do it, fellas.
And better.
I need to hear y'all a little bit more.
Because we're back.
It's still a party here on HBCU Go.
And this season, it's about the grit, the glory.
This conference, it's anybody's to take.
And the clash of champions.
Congratulations, you guys did it again.
Every game is our championship game.
The 2025 HBCU Go football season is here, only on HBCU Go.
It's week 9, and here's your HBCU Go football top 5. At the FCS level we start, and at number 5, it's South Carolina State. At 4, after crashing Southern's homecoming, Prairie View A&M. At 3, still flying high in 2025, North Carolina Central. At 2, Alabama State. And at 1, still undefeated in conference play, Jackson State. Now it's time for our Division II top 5. And at number 5, we have a tie. Breaking in for the first time, Kentucky State and also Fayetteville State. At 4, Johnson C. Smith. At 3, fresh off a homecoming game win, Albany State. At 2, Benedict College. And at 1, Virginia Union. That is this week's HBCU Go football top 5.
The SWAC, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride, and pedigree. Sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Welcome back to the Capital One Halftime Showcase. The second half is getting ready to start. Grambling State had a hot second quarter, scored 9 straight points. Now let's take a look at our halftime stats brought to you by Capital One. Turnovers and ball security have been a point of emphasis for Coach Mickey Joseph this entire season. You see on these statistics, they already have 2 turnovers. But let's see what they do in the second half. Don't go anywhere. James and John will get us ready for the kickoff when we return.
Thank you for watching the Capital One Halftime Showcase on HBCU Go Sports. Brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Jackson State in front, 10-9 on top of Grambling State here in the inaugural P&G Las Vegas HBCU Classic presented by the Stephen Lackey Companies. Hello, family. I'm James John. With me is John Kelly. And John, that first half was one that had a couple of takeaways, one for both teams. And Grambling State is still in it as a 20-point underdog.
Yeah, man. This Sin City showdown, it is lighting up right here. I can tell you the fans are loving it. The bands are on fire. And this game has been on fire. We've watched a wild one. Unfortunately, we saw a starting quarterback go out. But as far as that scoreboard in this game, we've seen all the action. And Jacobian Morgan, early in this game, he was on the money, getting the ball to Nate Rembert. Look at Nate skate, making it happen, shaking and baking, and then who takes it in himself?
Yeah, Jacobian Morgan, another rushing touchdown, his second of the season, but then Morgan tweaked something on this play and ended up having to go into the blue tent, and things got worse for Morgan because he came out on crutches and in a walking boot. So Morgan will not be playing for the remainder of the game. Zay Tisa goes up top to Cavadas Knighton for Grambling State's only touchdown.
Look at the big tight end run, doing his thing there, making that money right now. And then, how about the defense coming up big, swatting this one down? Clyde McClendon, the backup running back, smashing that punt. That leads to a field goal. If they hadn't missed that PAT, we'd have a tie game. But James, still a spectacular game Jackson State up by 1, 10-9 over Grambling State as we get ready and set to kick off here in the second half. James, we get our money's worth every second of this one.
So Travis Terrell Jr. trying to take off. He was stopped at the 22. Jackson State, their first offensive possession of the second half upcoming. And John, you talk about just the fact that Jackson State is without their starting quarterback. They were able to go into the locker room, regroup after that block punt, and now want to reset the deck here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and they've got a great effort from Parker Stopa, the backup quarterback, redshirt freshman. He had some monster mashes, taking some big hits, but for a guy who had only thrown, what'd you say, 3 passes coming into this one, he's been calm, cool, and collected as a fill-in. Can't ask for much more.
Travis Terrell Jr. trying to get to the outside, but what an amazing tackle made by Markel Linzer to stop him from really getting going.
James, Grambling State has to be riding an emotional high. They came out and looked like they were going to get served today, but they bounced back. Their defense doing the job, bringing that energy, and it's contagious. When things start going right, you sense that you have a chance to be in this game. That's when big things happen. So Jackson State, the defending national champs, so Mickey J's made it clear.
Grambling, that's their first of the game.
So a sideline warning on Grambling, but you see that tackle by Markel Linzer. He shed the block of Amon Miller and still was able to bring down the speedy Terrell Jr. So great second effort. Down and 5 for JSU. Trick play. Nate Rember coming the other way on the end around. First down picked up. And Rip Kirk goes into his bag of tricks early. The offensive play caller, a pickup of 10.
Hey, man, you come up with something in your tricks. Nice little bag of tricks move here. The reverse here. Good job of a couple defenders staying home. They got a decent chunk of change, but this one could have been a lot worse if everybody would have bitten on the play. But a nice job, people staying home. Blake Davis out there not letting this one be a backbreaker.
From the Jackson State 37, Stofa has time, fires to the outside. Terrell Jr., a slippery shake, and then a twirl towards the 45. And Travis Terrell Jr., he is not an easy customer to bring down in the open field.
James, I can tell you, Travis Terrell could have been lights out on this one because he's in a sitting duck, but look at him. Dip down, slip, bounce, spin. This kid's got all the skills, so instead of getting decapitated, he picks up a nice chunk, about 7 yards.
6-yard gain. They have 2 running backs in the backfield. Amon Miller as a fullback. He won't get it. Stofa flips. Terrell Jr. drops the ball. It's a fumble, and Grambling State, the ball still squirting around. Is Grambling State still in bounds?
Did they get possession? It might have bounced out. They're hoping they got it. That thing was bouncing around like a loose pig.
So Markel Linzer recovered the fumble, but was he in the field to play?
Yeah, look at this one. On the field, they're saying it's still Jackson State ball.
The Grambling player was touching the ball while out of bounds. Still Jackson State ball, 3rd down.
Jackson State avoids a tumultuous start to this half as Stofa too high for Terrell Jr. on the pitch.
Yeah, Stofa going for that old school option. Let that one get away, and look at the scramble. I think about 6 players end up touching this ball. No one wanted. Look at the coaches. They're just on that sideline saying, please vacuum this thing in. So close, and yet so far.
And Coach Joseph has to blow an early timeout.
Timeout. Grambling, the first of the half.
Mickey Stevens.
So Grambling takes the timeouts, but trying for a big defensive stop. State with a golden opportunity for a takeaway to start this second half, but the Tigers just could not keep the ball in play and recover this fumble, John.
James, as this ball is bouncing around, you got to imagine T.C. Taylor was having some ugly deja vu all over again. Last year's game, 5 turnovers. And look at it, the ball just out of bounds, and they scooped it in. Again, a missed opportunity. If they get that ball there and can start scoring some more points, woo, this is going to be a wild one. But T.C. Taylor and his crew dodging a major, not just a bullet, that is a heat-seeking missile they dodged.
Coach Taylor said we have to avoid the letdown. That was the message this week, but his team has had a couple of miscues that are uncharacteristic for the reigning HBCU national champions. Now 3rd down and 11 for Jackson State. First possession of the second half, leading by just 1.
Momentum right now on Grambling State's side.
Stofa connects on the screen. Ahmad Miller stays on his feet and picks up a first down past the 50.
James, that's one way to get some of that momentum back. Let's go ahead and break one off on 3rd down. Calling the right play at the right time. Making up for a bad, brutal pitch out there. Watch this. Just sets and waits, get it inside, and just make that money work right there. And he goes to work to get that first down. Ahmad Miller, nice.
15-yard pickup. And on 1st down and plus territory, another run for Miller. He's the leader in the clubhouse in regards to the running backs. But Coach Rip Kirk, as well as Coach Manny Ramirez, talking about how this team's on offense, the running backs, how they all take advantage of opportunities when they come in.
Yeah, they're a nice crew they have back there. Everybody picking up their part.
This throw to the outside, out of the reach of Jameel Gardner Jr. So 3rd down upcoming again for Jackson State.
We've seen that Stopa's taking some hits, and you can watch his big right elbow just all ripped up from that turf because he's had a bunch of big defenders from Grambling State breathing down his neck, asking him what kind of mouthwash he uses.
So Donario Davenport back in at running back. He leads the team in rushing on the day with 56. 3rd down and 8 for JSU. Just a 4-man rush. Stofa steps up, throws high, and the ball falls incomplete. Was looking for Gardner Jr. again. 4th down.
Just off the mark on that one, but again, great pressure up front from the Grambling State defense. They are really stepping up. Almost got that turnover, but again, they've got a young quarterback in there, a redshirted freshman. The deal is Mickey Jason put pressure on him, make him sweat, make him rush, make him freak out. Their defense doing a nice job.
Warren angles this kick. Delano Franklin calls for the fair catch past the 15 at the 16. And Grambling State has a chance to take the lead when we return.
Timeout.
The SWAC, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride and pedigree, sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
The energy is contagious.
This game just got big.
That's how we do it, fellas.
And better.
I need to hear y'all a little bit more.
Because we're back.
It's still a party here on HBCU Go.
And this season, it's about the grit, the glory.
This conference, it's anybody's to take.
And the clash of champions.
Congratulations, you guys did it again.
Every game is our championship game.
The 2025 HBCU Go football season is here, only on HBCU Go.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. Grambling State with a chance to take the lead on top of the Jackson State Tigers. James Hadnot here with you, John Kelly with me, and Grambling is known as the home of champions, a SWAC record for championships, their last one coming in 2017. And look at all those HBCU College Football Hall of Famers.
The Mecca. Yeah, they really established themselves over the last multiple decades as being the true blue blood. Jackson State has taken over that mantle more recently, but Grambling State, always legendary.
Trey Bradford on the ground for GSU. And Jeremiah Williams along with Reed Pulliam team up for the stop. Grambling has had its opportunities today, a missed field goal as well as a blocked PAT. The only reason they're not ahead in this game, also a couple of miscues on exchanges from the center. So they have had their chances, and there's a reason they're still in this game.
Absolutely. Great effort, and also taking advantage of the superstar quarterback on the other side of the field, out in street clothes right now, Jacobian Morgan. That's painful for Jackson State.
T-set 9 for 16 on the day, going to the air across the field. Another strong throw, and Keith Jones Jr. with strong hands to make the catch for a first down.
Nice pickup by Keith Jones Jr. and Zay T-set
Watch this. He's a left-handed quarterback throwing across the field, so that is not an easy throw. But again, a nice job of just getting back to the ball. The great hookup, move those sticks. Big first down for Grambling State. They want to continue that momentum that they picked up at the end of the first half.
Byron Eaton comes in at running back. First down from the Grambling 29. Down by this 1 point. Eaton Jr. swallowed up from behind. And when you talk about this Jackson State defense, their defensive front is fantastic. John Brown Jr. leading the charge that time.
Yeah, 6'1", 251. He is a graduate ball player, seasoned veteran, and he knows how to bring that wood. This is when this team, Jackson State, their offense has been so phenomenal over the last few weeks. The defense has as well. Big stand in that big win against Alabama State. Today they need to step up because they don't have their flamethrower at quarterback. They want to throw some flames at this Grambling State offense.
T-set back to pass. And Cavadas Knight, who had a one-handed catch on his touchdown reception, trying to go to the well once again, but Reed pulling him on his heels. You see Jackson State defensively, one of the top teams not only in the SWAC, but in the land. And here are some of their numbers.
You're going to beat a lot of teams playing like that, James Haffner.
We're going to beat teams in FCS at a high clip. 14 straight wins for Jackson State. The last team to beat them was Grambling back on September 21st of 2024. Now on third down, T-set another low snap, searching for answers, launches, and the catch is made. Cavadas Knighton again, an explosive play of 17 yards.
Outstanding catch by the big man. Phenomenal by T-set. Watch him, the pocket collapsing, steps up, finds the receiver, and then throws that frozen rope. This is what they need. That type of control, that type of precision. That is a great play. That is going to be motivation.
Cavadas Knighton having a career year in yards and receptions, having an excellent day as Keith Jones Jr., the recipient there, takes it for a good gain. And Grambling State has come out of the locker room with some fury, trying to take this lead.
Swinging like a heavyweight champ. They know they're taking on the heavyweight champions. Jackson State, such a great team, so well coached, stacked on both sides of the ball. Grambling feeling some magic right now.
Byron Eaton taking his time. He's short by about 2 yards. You talk about a heavyweight fight. We are in Las Vegas, so MGM Grand, so many different places have seen some big fights, and we have a big one right now between these titans of HBCU football.
Grambling State digging back to last year's upset. Mickey J came in, shocked the world with them, getting that win against Jackson State. Now today, another chance to do that. Mickey knows a win like this is not only great for the morale of his team, not only great for the program, but also so strong for recruiting. You win on this stage against this team, man, you can start hauling in the recruits.
A handoff to Trey Bradford shows great vision as he slices for a first down.
Yeah, it is contagious. James, you know, the momentum. When things are going wrong, yeah, it can fall apart like, you know, you're slipping on ice. But when things start going right, you start getting a little souped up on yourself. You start feeling that magic, that swag, and you believe in your mind. You believe you can do it. And these guys right now showing we are not intimidated. We fear none. And they're playing like ballers.
First down in plus territory. 7:30 to go in this third quarter. First drive of this third quarter for Grambling. T-set goes up top. Incomplete, but the flag comes in late. Intended wide receiver was Tyson George. And the coverage on the outside was by Mike Smith III.
They were dancing and tangoing out there, so I'm not surprised that flag came out. Hand swat.
Pass interference, defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So take a look here. They've got, let's see his pink hands. He's already grabbing the jersey, but that's called desperation, James. When you're beat, you know better to take the 15-yard flag than give up a touchdown or a monster catch. So he was beat. Never even looked back for the ball. So a tough one there for the Jackson State defense, but a great move for Grambling State. They are back in business.
On the ground, it's Cruz, and he coasts.
He's still pushing
for a couple. takes it to the 24, a 6-yard gain for Andre Cruz.
Now watch this. You got those big bodies up front trying to do something. He slams up in there. Look at his boys. They say, we're going to get those yards, brother. Push it. That's the brotherly shove, GSU style.
See the look on TC Taylor's face. This Grambling State offense taking it down the field on top of Jackson State's defense, and that's why a timeout has been called, trying to stop this momentum.
Yeah, you want to stop that momentum, but we saw that against Alabama State, man. These guys do not die in the fire. They were behind in that game. They're still ahead here.
Timeout.
Plenty of ball left. We got a hot
Jackson
one.
State. Timeout.
And TC Taylor called that timeout just to stop the momentum of Grambling State, but the Tigers of GSU rolling right now. Especially Zay T-Set, 3 for 4 on this drive, 33 yards through the air. Now Andre Cruz on the ground, takes it to the outside, and Cruz picks up a first down for the G-Men, 12 yards.
James, Grambling State on a roll. You hand it off right there, get it to your man, Andrew Cruz, taking it right out of bounds, picking up another first down. These guys are feeling themselves, feeling the magic. They feel they knock this one in. They know they take this lead against the defending national champs. Strong day by G-Men.
11th play of the drive. Grambling in the red zone. On the ground is Cruz. Hurls his head for about 2.
This is when TC Taylor needs his defense to bow up, flex up, and step up right now. If you can shut them down, hold them to 3, maybe get them 0 points on this one, that would be a monumental way to slow these guys, because they're starting to build up this momentum and this runaway freight train vibe. The defense right now, key for Jackson State to stand strong, stand tall. We know they have the horses. Can they do it here against this offense right now at the 10-yard line?
2 weeks ago, it was gut check time down the stretch. Jackson State's defense stood tall versus Alabama State. Now, here in Las Vegas, needing the same type of energy. And Grambling moving on the offensive line.
And this is the last thing you want.
The layup game, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Head coaches, defensive coordinators' worst nightmares. You move the ball all the way down. I should say offensive coordinators' worst nightmare. You move the ball all the way down, and Mickey J's like, let's focus, fellas. They're in position right now to grab this lead. The last thing you want to do is stop your own drive. Mental mistakes are killer.
Ball on the Jackson State 16. 5.5 to play in the third. Grambling State, the last team to beat Jackson State in FCS. That was last season. Now trying to do it again on the big stage. T-Set has time. Stepping up. Now runs. Zay T-Set. Touchdown. 14 yards.
That is how you plug into electricity and you squeeze that juice. Xavier T-Set, set in that pocket, watching, waiting, sees the opening, steps up, and the patience here. Can't find an open receiver. Then he sees all that green out front. He kicks on the afterburners, shakes one guy. The referee gets his world rocked, and T-Set launches into the end zone and launches Grambling State into its first lead of this ball game.
Ball is down, kick is up, and the extra point is good. Not too bad for a 20-point underdog. Grambling State in front of the reigning HBCU national champions, 16-10 with 5:10 remaining as Zay T-Set puts on his cape and flies into the end zone.
This game just got big.
That's how we do it, fellas.
And better.
I need to hear y'all a little bit more.
Because we're back.
It's still a party here on HBCU Go.
And this season, it's about the grit, the glory.
This conference, it's anybody's to take.
And the clash of champions.
Congratulations, you guys did it again.
Every game is our championship game.
The 2025 HBCU Go football season is here, only on HBCU Go.
Grambling Grambling State in front of Jackson State here at the inaugural P&G Las Vegas HBCU Classic presented by the Stephen Lackey family of companies. And you saw Zay T-Set. He has that mojo working, and he has his Tigers in front of JSU.
James, speaking of families, that was my family right there. My daughter Lola and Cruz up in the stands. Thank you, John Coleman, for pulling that shot. There they are. Cruz, Lola, their friend Belle. That's Grandma Sherry. Got Aunt V in the house. That's Danica over there with the white Grambling t-shirt. My daughter Lola's the one with the backwards hat on. So, yeah, appreciate the love, man. They're having the time of their life. My daughter's blowing up my phone saying, we are loving every minute of this HBCU vibe.
Backwards hat, she gets that swag from you, huh?
Yeah, exactly. She's got way more swag than I could ever dream of. But, you know, I have family, a bunch of family that went to Grambling State, so they're out here supporting the G-Men.
Grambling making your family proud as GSU leads 16-10 on top of Jackson State. Ball is away. And this will be returned. Travis Terrell Jr. absolutely crushed Torrey Morgan with a huge hit.
And usually you see the ball carrier taking the hit. Watch him deliver the blow here, though it actually both felt like freight trains running into each other. But that's the type of energy that you have to win this game.
And now Laurencia Moten downstairs with a special guest.
Yeah, gentlemen, I'm here with Sandra Douglas Morgan, the Las Vegas Raiders team president. Thank you so much for taking the time. Miss Morgan, the Raiders have constantly broken barriers. This game is no exception. The first HBCU game in Allegiant Stadium. Talk to me about how important this is to the organization.
It's incredible for the Raiders to be able to host this at Allegiant Stadium, which is our home. It's really incredible to bring this culture and history and tradition for HBCUs to Las Vegas and Southern Nevada. I think it's been an incredible opportunity for our children and our culture here in Nevada to learn more about HBCUs. I've honestly just shared some stories of children that my children went to school with who are now at Grambling and being able to meet administrators and alumni here. And just with the rich history between the Raiders and HBCUs, it's just great to have this here at our home stadium. So it's been an incredible weekend.
I bet, and you look beautiful in your Alpha Kappa Alpha gear. The HBCUs are here, and so are you. Talk to me about what you hope fans receive coming into Allegiant Stadium, understanding what the Raiders organization truly believes in.
I'm hopeful they'll understand the history and why HBCUs were created and how it's been able to generate not just incredible athletes, professional athletes, but obviously educators, leaders, doctors, lawyers, and just people that I think our children should aspire to be like. And then if it really wasn't for, P&G and the Stephen Lackey family of companies, obviously ASM Global, the Raiders, everyone working so closely together to make this happen. And I hope it's an educational experience and it's an uplifting experience. To have the Divine Nine, even the local chapters here come out and support it's great. So it's truly a great community experience for everyone. And I'm so thrilled to see this beautiful crowd here and to understand that, we can support each other, we can support the region, and we can support HBCUs all in one event.
It definitely has been amazing so far. Looking forward, what other exciting opportunities do maybe the Raiders organizations have in partnership with HBCUs or just other organizations in general?
Historically, we've had not only players but Hall of Fame, whether it be coaches. We have a current coach right now in our staff that went to Hampton. We have clearly Art Shell and, oh my gosh, Willie Brown, that was a Grambling alum. So we have such a rich history of doing that. We have incredible internships programs, and we always have someone from HBCUs that are part of that, whether it be in business operations or in football operations, and we'll continue to grow that because the legacy and the history between the Raiders and HBCUs are so strong.
Well, I feel it in my blood, and thank you so much for taking the time here. You got an amazing game to continue to watch. Thank you so much. Thank you. Back to you guys in the booth.
Travis Terrell Jr. receives the pass from Jared Lockhart, who's now in for the first time, getting some time since he played versus Tuskegee, where he lit things up. And so Jackson State decides to go to Lockhart, and he's engineers this drive.
Yeah, improvising on that play, breaking it free, connecting for that first down. So again, another backup quarterback in there, seeing if he can bring this team back from the brink of being upset.
So the freshman from Charlotte, hands off. And Travis Terrell Jr. was down. You saw Jackson State was able to get down here by a couple of big runs from Denario Davenport. He's the leading rusher on the day, now sitting at 91 yards. And Jackson State is on the ropes versus Grambling, the last team to beat them in FCS play. Jackson State has won 15 of their last 16 contests. Their only loss was this season to Southern Miss, going back to that Grambling loss. Now 2nd down and 10 in plus territory. Lockhart, quick throw. Janaylin Dupree makes the catch. And for Dupree, that's his 3rd of the day.
Well, that was a great interview, Laurencia. Thank you for the great interview with Sandra Douglas Lockhart. She is representing the Raiders strong, also representing those lovely ladies there, the Divine Nine. But she has done so much for this program. I love the way she articulated how important this game is to this Raider organization, and they will continue to support HBCU. So again, love being in partnership with this team.
Lockhart firing, and that is tight coverage by Sammy Draper. Tigers were looking for Jinsey Riley, the tight end. Ball's incomplete. 4th down.
Yeah, this is when you got to go on lockdown. Grambling State trying to make it happen. Good coverage, kind of draped all over him, but that ball was anybody, so he went up there to deflect that ball. 4th down. Jackson State trying to take advantage, sticking with their freshman, Jared Lockhart.
Would have been a 50-yard field goal from this distance, so right now it's 4th down and 5. Jackson State staying on the field, going for it. Pressure coming. Lockhart throws. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. And Grambling State roaring here in Las Vegas.
You got that right, brother. A tough connect on that one. Throws this one behind Kobe Paul. Kobe Paul gets his lights just lit up here. Takes one right to the helmet, but he did not lead his receiver again. Coming off cold off the bench, Lockhart off the mark. Grambling State, a huge stop, leading this one by 6, James. They are in the driver's seat right now. If they keep this offense going, it's going to be a tough day for Jackson State, but we know they are loaded on both sides of the ball. This defense, we've seen them step up, as you mentioned, 2 weeks ago when they needed it. These guys know how to come down and bring the hammer.
1:20 remains in the 3rd quarter as the 4th looms, and Grambling State looking to snap this winning streak of Jackson State. T-set launches to the outside, another strong throw, and Nicholas Howard takes it for a 1st down.
When you feel the magic, you got the magic. They're showing the magic. James, these guys on offense have scored 16 unanswered points. They came out, looked like they were going to get pushed around, but with plays like this, they continue to show not only are we not intimidated by this team, we can actually take this team out if we play our game. What a ball game. Sin City Showdown, baby.
Mickey Joseph said, if I'm not intimidated, you all should not be intimidated. And the team, his team, following suit, but a flag flying from the Grambling sideline.
Well, James, you talk about Mickey Joseph, head coach of these Grambling State Tigers. He is one of those guys that just has that energy. He believes in these players. He believes in his team.
Snap infraction, offense, number 55, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
But Mickey does not believe in those kind of penalties. That's going to drive him crazy. His team's in the lead, but you don't want to start making mental mistakes, pushing the ball in the wrong way. So he's all about structure. Those are things you can work on, but right now, they're in the driver's seat.
And you see Jacobian Morgan, who got off to a quick start. You talk about frustration. That's really the word to use, as he's had to watch his team fall behind. Andre Cruz, not in cruise control. He's in overdrive as he takes it for a 1st down to the 45, a gain of 11.
When you're hot, and look at him run. This is called driving those legs, making it happen. Cruz doing everything, cruising, bruising, making it happen.
We are off to the 4th quarter. Grambling State.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Timeout.
Woo! Grambling State in front of the reigning HBCU national champions. 16-10. Zay T-set has turned up this Grambling State Tigers crowd. Off to the 4th.
This game just got big.
That's how we do it, fellas.
And better.
I need to hear y'all a little bit more.
Because we're back.
It's still a party here on HBCU Go.
And this season, it's about the grit. the glory.
This conference, it's anybody's to take.
And the clash of champions.
Congratulations. You guys did it again.
Every game is our championship game.
The 2025 HBCU Go football season is here, only on HBCU Go.
Back here in Las Vegas with head coach T.C. Taylor. Coach Taylor, unexpected changes to this game. You're without one of your key players, QB1 Jacobian Morgan. Talk to me about what adjustments you need to make to come away with a win in the fourth.
We got to win a drive. You know, we got to put a drive together offensively. We're moving the ball. We're crossing the 50, but we got to be able to score. You know, they gave us an opportunity there, but right now they're just running the ball down our throats on our defense. Defense got to step up. You know, we got two young quarterbacks in there right now. Jacobian is the heart and soul of this team right now, but when he's out, we still got to play. So we got to find a way in this fourth quarter.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck in the fourth. Back to you guys in the booth.
93 yards on the ground for Grambling. Trey Bradford, the leader in the clubhouse, with 54. But Andre Cruz has picked up back-to-back first downs for Grambling. He's the running back in right now besides Zay T-Set. Fourth quarter starts now. Grambling trying to take down the reigning SWAC champions. T-Set keeps it himself. Zay T-Set is brought down on the outside. Tackle made by Shamar Hawkins, the senior from Chicago, Illinois.
Well, this defense knows this game is far from over. It's a one-score ball game. They know if they can start to really bow up. T.C. Taylor said, we've got to make some stops. If they can start doing that, they know they're still in this ball game, but they're going to have to do a lot of work because, again, two young quarterbacks, they're the ones trying to run the offense in place of Jacoby and Morgan, so they need as much help as they get from their D side of the ball.
Two tight ends on the left side of the line. Grambling has scored 16 unanswered points as we start this fourth.
Mental mistakes, man.
Second down and 8 will turn to second down and 13 after this 5-yard penalty. Movement.
False start offense. Number 52. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So Aaron Mahoney being the guilty party.
Yeah, just getting anxious. And I can tell you, when they feel this right now, things start to bubble up. You know you're in position to try and knock these brothers off. You start getting excited, but that's when you got to take that deep breath. Keep yourself in that Zen mode because mistakes like that can kill. Let your game take over. Use what you know and play very, very smart.
At the Jackson State 48. T-Set hands off to Cruz, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 10 for Grambling.
Well, James, again, Jackson State at a disadvantage without their star QB1, Jacoby Morgan, but we do know this team understands how to play from behind. They did it, as we've talked about, against Alabama State. Huge victory there that they did. They need some more of that magic right now, right here.
On third down, T-Set, excellent ball handling, finds Cruz, and Cruz picks up a first down.
Excellent job. The world collapsing around Xavier T-Set. Watch him here. There's bodies everywhere. His guys are faking the handoff, spinning, coming over here. Left-handed. Watch the touch. That's nice. Gets it out to his guy. Andre Cruz doing a good job here, slipping that tackle, stumbles forward, almost stayed on his feet for a bigger chunk, but that's huge. They needed that first down.
A 17-yard pickup, and this coaching staff of Chiron Carey, the offensive coordinator, along with Mickey Joseph, they kind of trade off who calls the plays. As Trey Bradford takes it towards the 25, stopped at the 26, but Coach Joseph and Coach Carey have that connection. They've known each other for so long. Coach Carey, the best friend of Coach Joseph's younger brother, Sammy, and they're of one mind. And when you are of one mind, you have play calls like that at the exact right time.
Yeah, and this is when it's almost like, James, when you're out there on the basketball court raining down three-pointers and they just start falling in like you're throwing them in the ocean. You start getting that thing, that momentum, that mindset. We can make things happen. This Grambling State offense, you pointed out, 16 unanswered points. They're rolling.
T-Set to throw.
Got him.
Catch is made. Andrew Frazier, like he just left the barber. A perfect fade. Touchdown, Grambling State.
tell you, this team is locked and loaded, hitting on all cylinders. A cat who hasn't even been heard from today. Look at him. Perfect pass by T-Set. The rainbow drops in the bucket. Mr. Frazier stepping up. You know his mama's proud on that one. What a ball game, James. What a game plan by Grambling State.
GSU in front by 12, pending this extra point.
G-Men absolutely in the house here in Vegas.
Whistles blow and a timeout.
Timeout. Jackson State, the first of the half. 30-second timeout.
So Jackson State takes the timeout. GSU, a 7-play, 68-yard drive. 4:14 took off the clock, and Andrew Frazier tracked that ball perfectly. Touchdown. We'll welcome you back to Grambling State and Jackson State. Zay T-Set, he's been on it since the start. Extra point is up, and it's good. And Grambling State will take this 13-point lead into this timeout. Timeout on the field. We'll be back for more action in a moment.
Game just got big.
That's how we do it, fellas.
And better.
I need to hear y'all a little bit more.
Because we're back.
It's still a party here on HBCU Go.
And this season, it's about the grit, the glory.
This conference is anybody's to take.
And the clash of champions.
Congratulations. You guys did it again.
Every game is our championship game.
The 2025 HBCU Go football season is here. Only on HBCU Go.
23 points unanswered for Grambling State, and you can see Jalen Ware trying to bring some energy to the Jackson State sideline. This defense has been stunned by the G-men. The last 4 drives, you see them. 3 touchdowns in the field goal. It was orchestrated also after that touchdown, the block punt at the end of the first half, allowing Grambling to have some energy going into the halftime break, and they came out. All systems go. Now, what does the reigning HBCU national champion have to say? Travis Terrell Jr. can't shake loose. You see the momentum was in Jackson State's favor. They were leading by 2 scores, but Jacoby Morgan was injured on that play, and then everything changed for Grambling.
That's right. Coming up with big blocks, the defense stepping up, special teams stepping up, and then watch this. T-Set taking it to the house, taking advantage of these things. They had a block PAT as well. And then look at this fade route right moments ago. Frazier, like heavyweight Joe Frazier.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 31. That penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. That penalty will be enforced at the end of the run. First down, Jackson State.
What will JSU do now down by 2 scores themselves? They were potentially running away with this matchup. Things look good. But then Jacoby Morgan went down. Parker Stofa came in at quarterback. And he's made way for Jared Lockhart, another freshman. When we asked Coach Taylor about Lockhart after the win versus Tuskegee, he said Jackson State is in good hands. Right now, Lockhart has to be locked in. Hand off to Ahmad Miller. And Miller takes it past the 10 to the 11.
Well, James, it's like T.C. Taylor said, they know it's a huge blow to lose their leader, Jacoby and Morgan, both on the field, off the field, emotional leader, but it's got to be next man up. And when you are the defending national champs, you got to be locked and loaded, ready to have another brother in there to do it. So right now, they need to give support to their quarterbacks. They got to get some big plays.
Lockhart launches deep. And Janaylin Dupree couldn't bring it in. But the flag comes in. So Markel Lenzer was in coverage.
Janaylin Dupree out there.
Pass interference, defense, number 3, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
James, that's one way to get a big play, right?
Let's take a look at this. Lenzer is behind the play. You see his hands are on Dupree.
Never looks back for the ball. So he just swats, takes a shot again. He knows he's beat, so that's called desperation.
So a first down for Jackson State. Ball moves to the Tigers 26. Denario Davenport, lead blocker for Jared Lockhart, and he's spun around by Blake Davis. Back on the West Coast, originally from Los Angeles. And Coach Joseph said, when we have West Coast guys, when we have guys from other places, we got to love on them a little harder, and then they'll play hard for you. And Blake Davis with a hard hit.
Yeah, Mickey J's all about just taking care of his players. He's there emotionally, mentally, physically, all of the above.
Lockhart back to pass, being chased by Robinson.
Pressure.
And throws the ball short to J.C. Riley. Grambling State offense, defense, and special teams playing at a high level today, and the defense making it difficult on Lockhart there.
That's right, man. They are creating havoc back there, menacing defense, not letting him get set. So again, you got a real freshman in there. They put pressure on the last quarterback, Parker Stopa. Now Jared Lockhart in there, feeling the wrath of the G-men defense.
6 for 11 on third down, and Jackson State down by 2 possessions. Would love to get this one. Lockhart shakes free and now takes off. Stays on his feet, short of the marker, but did his best trying to find his way to the 36, but he's short by 2 yards.
This is pretty amazing what Grambling State has really been able to put together. Again, losing a star quarterback is one thing, but their effort, their execution, they are doing everything right now to take advantage of every opportunity.
Going for it. 4th down and 2 from their own 34.
I like it. Down 2 touchdowns. Got to do something.
First down's picked up.
First step.
Ahmad Miller, a huge carry. Pick up a 4 when they needed to.
Yeah, 10 minutes left to play. You can't say it's do or die time just yet, but that, you're right, James, was crucial. Keep those sticks moving. Keep this drive alive.
Going quickly are the Tigers. Lockhart has a man wide open. Got him. Nate Ribbert. Touchdown. 62 yards.
Never count out true champions. They wanted it. They get it. Jared Lockhart, a couple times looking for that home run ball. And this time, Nate Ribbert has been on fire. Watch this rocket. Remember, this kid is first year in college, throws a frozen rook right in stride. Nate Ribbert, the concentration defender flying by, runs a perfect pattern, perfect pass, perfect results.
Nate Rimbert is different. The definition of a big-time player. Had the game-winning touchdown last week and keeps his team in the thick of it this week.
Woo! We got a party, James had not.
Grambling State in front, but Jackson State just threw a blow of their own to get back in it, and we want to welcome you into the booth. We have a legend with us. Reggie, thank you so much for joining us. I know you got it on, supporting HBCUs. We're happy that you're here with us right now.
I'm glad to be here as well. I'm really excited to see that the Raiders are inviting the black colleges to come into town, and I have a participation with the Houston Astros because they have an HBCU baseball tournament there for 6 or 7 games. Travis Scott does it. They got a great owner there, Jim Crane. And so it's really nice to see the good things like that.
Yeah, more than an honor to have Mr. October in the house. 563 career home runs. You were 2-time World Series MVP, so you've done it all in the game. How exciting is it to see these young brothers with this talent getting this spotlight?
It's a thrill for me, to be honest with you. You know, I was played games, you know, back in the 60s, and in those particular places, you weren't allowed in the stadium, you weren't allowed to eat in a restaurant
because you're black.
Because you were black. You know, all the writing on the back of the bus stuff, and all of the KKK stuff was in full force, and so to see it come this far and to see these guys out here on the field, you know, I'm really excited and thrilled that the NFL participates, the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders participate, and I know that Mark Davis is a big guy to support this kind of stuff. It's a thrill, and I'm excited about it and proud of it.
Got you. And you see Zay T-Set right now. Oh, there's a little penalty, so gives us a chance to kind of talk a little bit more.
What a thrill, what an honor to have this guy in the booth with us, man.
Absolutely. And when you think about big games, John kind of talked about how the games that you have played in, and so what is it like as a fan when you're watching a big game? Because you played in the moment, the juice is still flowing a little bit.
It's exciting to watch great players. You know, I like watching Ohtani and Mookie. I think Mookie Betts might be the best player out there now. Of course, it's hard to beat Ohtani because he pitches and he gets home runs. But I enjoy watching the great players. I'm excited to sit down and see the things that happen during the game. And I really like to watch, like, how are the Dodgers going to play today? Because if they lose 2, then there's real pressure.
Yeah, man.
And so this is the game I want to see the Dodgers play. Or if they lose 2, see how they play, because I want to see greatness when it counts.
Reggie, you are one of, if not the greatest postseason player in baseball history. Talk to us about what it took for you to overcome all those challenges back in the 60s and 70s with all the racial hurdles. What was important? What was your tenacity? Where'd you get that from to blast through that and become a hero?
You know, Mr. Kelly, I will tell you that it was something that you lived in. You did your best to get through it. And some of the things that have been said to me by my white friends, gosh, Reggie, I couldn't imagine the kind of player you'd have been if all you had to worry about is when you went to the ballpark and played the game.
That's right.
And so whether you're talking about Mays or Aaron or Clemente or Gibson or the great players of the past, it was the same thing for them, same thing for me. And at times you can still see it in 2025. You know, and so you don't like it, but it's easy to spot and easy to see because you just have the sensitivity of who's real and who's not.
And Mr. Jackson, I want to tell our audience, if you haven't seen the Reggie documentary called Reggie, he illustrates this. It's so beautifully done. So go pull this up on a streamer. It is magic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Big third down right now. Zay T-Set escapes, takes his time, still throws. Ball is out of bounds. Looking for Key Jones Jr. And you can feel the energy. I don't know how this compares to October here in the booth right now, but you can feel the energy for this matchup. And so, Reggie,
nice. It looks like there might be 30,000.
Yeah, we got a good crowd.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Got a good crowd, which I'm proud of. I'm glad. I'm happy for the players and the coaches and staff. It's just great.
This has been a hell of a ball game, too.
I got a present for you guys before I leave.
We'll get you on camera so you can show these, man. I grew up eating these things, Reggie. I was one of your biggest fans.
Okay.
All righty. What's this gift that we have?
Timeout.
Let's go wait for the pull up this camera. I want everybody to see these. You still sell these. Hold those up.
Mr. Chandler.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Hatton.
Thank you so much.
And I got to leave a couple around for the guys in the studio.
You are the best.
The workers down there are going to get some too.
Here we go. We'll take a break. Thank you so much, Reggie, for being with us. And it's a big game, so we'll be back for more in a moment.
I'm keeping this Reggie bar forever.
There you go.
The SWAC, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride, and pedigree. Sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
The energy is contagious.
This game just got big.
That's how we do it, fellas.
And better.
I need to hear y'all a little bit more.
Because we're back.
It's still a party here on HBCU Go.
And this season,
Touchdown.
it's about the grit, the glory,
This conference is anybody's to take.
and the clash of champions.
Congratulations, you guys did it again.
Every game is our championship game.
The 2025 HBCU Go football season is here, only on HBCU Go.
Jackson State with the defensive stop. Now their offense comes back out, down by a score. And now it's time for today's Fan Cam, presented by Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work. You just heard the great Reggie Jackson say maybe 30,000 here. All the fans have been treated to this wonderful matchup.
It is a glorious setup. Thank you to Team Raider Nation for bringing us in the house. What a great partnership. Curtis Simons, Byron Allen, HBCU Go guys running the thing. What a combination and what a turnout. The crowd is here. The fans are here. The whole city is on fire. Both teams traveling, so many fans. This has been a spectacular day. We got a spectacular game, James. I can't wait for these final 8 minutes.
8 minutes and counting. And Jackson State down by 6 to Grambling, the last team to beat them in FCS competition. Denario Davenport is the running back. He'll take it, and Davenport is crunched as he passes the 45, a gain of about 6 for Davenport. And he's shorts of that 100-yard mark right now, but this is what coaches call a championship type of drive. They have that potential to have it right here.
And TC Taylor welcomes this. If we're champs, we know how to bounce back even with these dire straits.
Flag comes in, false start.
False start, offense. Number 56, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's not the championship vibe they're looking for. Those little penalties can be killers, but I tell you what, James, as much as Grambling had all that momentum, a tsunami coming at Jackson State, Jackson State's 1 touchdown away from taking the lead.
And it's because Jared Lockhart came in. Parker Stoffel played the entire third quarter. They did not score. Lockhart comes in. He has a big play to Nate Rimber, and he's going up top again. Overthrows his intended wide receiver, Shamar Savage, who we have not heard from today, but has 3 touchdowns over his last 2 games.
James, I can tell you, being a freshman out there, I love how Lockhart, he was off the mark on that one, but I love how this young man is stepping up. He is going for it, because when you're new at a college, a university, a new playbook, your head is spinning. He's acting like he's been here before. This young man, Jared Lockhart, he looks like a baller.
15 for 21 versus Tuskegee with a touchdown in that win. Now Lockhart escapes the pocket. Jared Lockhart flying for a first down. Flag, however, near the backfield. TC Taylor puts 2 hands in the air, wondering what this call could be.
Man.
Holding, offense, number 79, 10-yard penalty, third down.
Dagger to the heart.
Wavion Davis, the guilty party.
Take a look there, big 6'5" up there. Both of them yanking on each other's jerseys. So again, they got a break there. Grambling State, but this penalty's going the other way. That could have been an easy no call. But unfortunately for the JSU Tigers, this one backing them up. They've got third and about 6 miles.
3rd and 21 to be exact. Lockhart lets his receivers go downfield. Now escapes to his left. Floats.
That's outstanding.
And Kobe Paul is the recipient. First down on 3rd and 21. A gain of 29.
James, it is hard to put into words how difficult this is right here. Watch all these bodies, some pancakes out front. But Lockhart, cool, calm, just a freshman, dances out of harm's way and then puts the touch on it. Lays it out there, money ball to Kobe Paul. Wow, that's how you dig yourself out of a 20-plus hole.
Ahmad Miller trying the left side, slips through one tackle, but the Cavalry is there for Grambling. There is a flag back near 16 as Marcellus Johnson was there for the tackle.
Well, you can feel that momentum swinging back this way. Jackson State led by a freshman.
Illegal substitution, defense. More than 11 players on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Another momentum shifter getting those penalties, but Jared Lockhart, the true freshman, fresh out of high school, coming out here like a field general. As devastating as it is losing your QB1, getting to see this kid out there operating, doing his thing as you see this replay here on the penalty. But Jared Lockhart working some magic, young man on fire.
On 1st and 5, Lockhart again shimmies out of trouble, and he'll pick up the first down.
That's a play.
Marcellus Johnson had his hands on Lockhart as he was going out of bounds and did not release, and that's going to be a late hit and an extra 15 for Jackson State. Wow.
Crucial mental mistake. Easily could have released him out of bounds. That is a frustration penalty. That will drive Mickey J insane. But I just tell you, this kid winds up. Lockhart, he looks for that long ball, and then when he needs to move, he just gets out of harm's way, takes this one, big run, and a penalty on top of it. As we said, though, Jackson State never out of a game, even with their QB1 on the sideline, they are still positive yardage. That hurts for GSU.
Marking off the penalty, ball moves inside the red zone.
Personal foul, horse collar, defense, number 33. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down, Jackson State.
The JSU crowd rising in volume, you see here. That is a horse collar tackle. And Marcellus Johnson, a rare mistake for him. Call him the thermostat. He sets the temperature for the defense. And there, Jared Lockhart trying to hand off to Travis Terrell Jr. He ends up tripping his teammates. And that's a loss for JSU.
Yeah, you could see he was trying to read the defense on that. He was hanging on that handoff, just trying to watch where the defense was going in case he maybe wanted to pull it back. But he gets up too close, and they just get their feet tangled. Look, he's reading the defense, looking at that end. Then he ends up tripping up his running back. So, again, he doesn't get a lot of reps with the first team. That's just one of those rare mistakes that he's had so far. But they're still in this driver's seat on this drive.
Donario Davenport right up the middle, and he squeaks past the 15. 3rd down and long upcoming for Jackson State. Will run under 5 minutes on this snap. And the ball game is tight, as you would expect, between two of these titans of HBCU football.
And the G-men know they're up by 6 points. If they can hold them here and try and force a field goal, they are in great shape. Not sure if Jackson State might not just go for it anyway on 4th down, but they know they want to step up big. Huge 3rd down.
Pressure is picked up. Lockhart escapes.
Look at him, man.
Out of one tackle, Lockhart is pushed out short of the line to gain. But with the kicking situation for Jackson State, we'll see if they decide to go for it on 4th down or if they kick that field goal.
Yeah, James, a couple of weeks ago, T.C. Taylor told us what a great kid this freshman is. He's seen the flashes this year because Jacoby Morgan was hurt earlier in the year. This kid has stepped up. But a decision for T.C. Taylor, they've only got 1 timeout. So the crucial time now being wise and strategic on how or if they use it on this drive.
Play clock's at 5. Jackson State just getting set. And they have to burn that final timeout.
Timeout. Jackson 3. Your third and final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
JSU has to call the timeout in this key situation, and they'll have to talk it over. Today's Scholar Athletes are brought to you by Procter & Gamble. We honor two high rollers who are winning big in the classroom and on the field. From Jackson State senior running back Donario Davenport is tackling his courses in professional interdisciplinary studies and has his sights set on becoming an FBI agent and protecting the books just as well as the quarterback. We have Grambling sophomore offensive lineman Alexander Vigil, who's got a 3.7 GPA in kinesiology, a true winning hand for both of these athletes. Well, the situation is this: 4:02 remains, and Jackson State has no timeouts.
Yeah, James, look at this. They only had one timeout. They had that little blunder right there, having to burn it off on 4th down. TC knows that timeout in his back pocket would have been crucial. The frustration knowing they have to burn it, but more importantly right now, they need to get across this either 1st down marker or into the end zone. 4th down, game on the line.
From the 8 on 4th down and 3, it's a sweep to the left, and guess who? Nate Rimber takes it for a 1st down.
All day long, Nate the skate Rimber throwing the ball, handing the ball. This brother will cash in. 4th down, crucial play, comes up big, nearly takes it to the end zone. 1st down in business.
1st down and goal from the 2. Jackson State with a chance to tie. Donario Davenport spinning. He'll be short by a yard. It was an odd exchange.
Yeah, that was bizarre, right?
But Davenport was able to make something out of nothing.
Well, James, this clock continues to run. They're taking their time. They know they've got time on their side because they're at the 1-yard line. But they also want to burn off a little time so the G-men getting that ball back won't have as much time left.
Davenport!
That ball in, reaches again. Let's see if the second effort got that ball over.
No signal at the goal line.
Man, it's close.
And it will be 3rd and goal.
So this is a great, look at it, going airborne. Davenport getting up, but watch the second effort. Sticks that ball out one more time. We'll give you another angle on it. Gets up, that's a good leap. The first one pulls it back in. You can't really see the ball. Time to put it in.
3rd and goal. Lockhart strolls in for 6. Touchdown, Jackson State.
James, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, Jared Lockhart, the true freshman, playing like a seasoned, talented vet. This kid is confidence to a T. And I'll tell you, TC Taylor's talking about it because I got a freshman over here that can ball. I got the superstar Jacoby Morgan. He always feels good, so surprising they waited to bring him in late, but they knew once he got in there he could do this.
Warren takes his time, and Jackson State back in front.
That was a thing of beauty to watch. A freshman leading the way and then getting it done. Donario Davenport, the fake. Jared Lockhart, the freshman, around the side, a little stiff arm, the swipe. Fellas, you can't stop me. My boy Jacoby Morgan on the sideline. I want to make him proud. I want to make our fans proud. And I'm making the coaches up in the booth proud. That's how we do it. So give me some.
Coach Rip Kirk calling the plays for Jackson State, and he's picked the right hand every single time here in Sin City. And Jared Lockhart has taken over for Jackson State. A passing touchdown to Nate Rimber, a rushing touchdown for Lockhart. And the reigning HBCU national champions showing why they are the champs. Retake the lead on top of Grambling State.
I'll tell you, TC Taylor told me that
Mickey Joseph and here, friends. They met when Mickey was an assistant back at Grambling back in the day. Says he likes him a lot. Big fan of Mickey Joseph. But he said today he wants to come out here and destroy him. They had to work hard for this one coming back. So now it's what say you, Grambling State? What does Mickey J and his team have in their back? My former teammate, he likes these situations. He loves challenges. He's a scrappy fighter as a player. He's a golden scrappy fighter as a coach. Now's the time, Coach. What you got for us, Mickey J, trailing by 1.
Kickoff went out of bounds, so that sets Grambling State up.
Kick out of bounds, kicking team, number 35. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Grambling.
That's a nice break. They'll take those extra yards.
2:15 remains. Grambling has 1 timeout, and they will get the 2-minute timeouts. And the fans for both sides rise in volume. What an inaugural PNG Las Vegas HBCU Classic we've had on our hands. Strap yourselves in at home for this final 2:15.
Pure electricity in this house. What else do you expect? It's Vegas, baby.
T-set. Spied, so he'll snag. And almost caught a snag as Cavadas Knighton could not make the catch. That ball was in the air for a little bit of time. It ends up hitting the turf harmlessly. Second down.
T-Set does a nice job of stepping up, getting out of harm's way, but almost made that mistake. You don't want to force it right now. You still have some time here. A turnover is a death nail. So be smart, be wise. You got to get creative, make something big happen, but don't make that mistake.
Zay T-Set has made all the plays today. 15 for 25, more than 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quick throw to the outside. Knighton is wide open, but the ball was behind him, so he had to go to the ground. And I know we're in an NFL stadium, but he's down on the catch.
Timeout. Timeout.
What a moment right there, because Knighton would have been loose. But we're off to the 2-minute timeouts. Back and forth we've gone. Jackson State, the champions, have retaken the lead. What does Grambling, the champions of old, have to say? Thanks for sticking with us here in Las Vegas this week. Next week, Alcorn State is heading into Houston to take on Texas Southern. And Houston, we have a problem. The Braves are bringing the heat, and you know what they say, everything's bigger in Texas. Big plays, big energy, and big HBCU pride. Catch it all Saturday, November 1st at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, only on HBCU Go. Target line is the 30 for Grambling States. And kicker Theodore Caballero. Grambling State would love to get closer because of the kicking miscues today. The missed field goal and the blocked PAT. 2 minutes remain.
Bringing the blitz.
T-Set on the run. Takes off. Picks up a first down into Jackson State territory.
James, that was the perfect play call with that blitz coming off the edge. Got to ball it down right now.
And T-Set is down.
Just his body language does not look good. Oh, my goodness.
So Zay T-Set, who's played so well today, right now has both legs out, arms out as well. And everybody has gone down on a knee.
My God.
On the Grambling sideline.
Now that hurts your heart when you can sense this energy and that cold feeling in here. Let's pray it's something that's not serious.
The cart has come out already. And as you say, John, just prayers for Zay T-Set right now as his teammates look on.
James, I've played this game a long time. When you see somebody sprawled out on their back, their feet like that and their arms up, it's almost like a heavyweight boxer getting knocked out and they're unconscious. And we saw one of the trainers trying to kind of rub his leg to see if he was getting any sensation down there. So again, let's hope and pray this is just precautionary. We're not going to jump to any conclusions, but I do not like to see that at all.
So everybody on a knee, and this crowd that was so raucous just moments ago for the big moment has gone silent in respect to the moment, and for T-Set, who has gone down after a 9-yard run and has not moved since being hit on that 9-yard run. Looks of concern throughout the crowd, as you would expect, as time has come to a halt.
Yeah, James, these situations are so very difficult because, as you point out, it not only slows down the game, but it strikes fear. This is a collision sport. It's not a contact sport. This is truly a collision sport. So when you see these big warriors bouncing around and doing this every day, you start to forget sometimes that this is human body slamming into human body. And so the technology that they've gotten now to try and help with the helmets and lessen the blows and the penalties that are put in place to try and prevent this, but it's still a dangerous sport. And that's why when you see things like this, people do quickly start to feel that trepidation. It is very uncomfortable, not only for people who know him, for the other side of the ball. This is where the game goes away, humanity steps in. So a very difficult time for everybody in this building. I mean, God, I feel it in my stomach right now. I feel a little sick with this.
It looks like Travion Scott, the AD, is down on the field, and he, in the yellow vest, has Coach Mickey Joseph around on his right as everyone looks on. That's Andre Cruz, one of the teammates for Coach T-Set. And you see family with Travion, the athletic director.
Here comes the ambulance. Well, again, praying that they're doing this just to be safe, because I've seen them do that before too. They said just don't move. They put the brace on your neck. They want you immobilized in case there's something wrong. So let's hope it is just all a safety move, and we will pray that that's exactly what it is. The young man having a spectacular game. We're praying for his health.
And we're in a NFL stadium, the best in the business in regards to the paramedics, the training staffs, the emergency crews, all working right now. As Zay T-Set, the quarterback for Grambling, is laying down on the field.
Tough to even put into words what, not only his teammates, which are his family, but his blood family is feeling right now. Because again, the safety of these young men is oftentimes not overlooked, James, but just not really consciously front of mind. So when you see things like that, it's just such a stark, painful reminder that your health, fragile. A game like this is violent. Again, it's something that we cheer for, we love, but this is the type of stuff that is very frightening.
And so now the entire Grambling State team is huddling up on their sideline. Jackson State is also going to huddle up on their sideline. For those just joining us, we had just hit the 2-minute warning in this tight ball game. Jackson State retook the lead. Grambling State was starting their drive, and Zay T-Set took off for a first down. He was hit, and immediately the training staff was called onto the field. Jackson State made sure that the training staff was called onto the field to look at T-Set as he has both legs sprawled out, his arms sprawled out, and the first trainer that came out immediately put up an X with her arms to get more trainers and more medical staff out for this moment, because as John has said, with the violence that comes in this game and when players are hitting each other, anything in the head or neck area, or anytime a player movement stops and he becomes sprawled out, want to make sure that he is safe And so that is why time is being taken, and that's the only thing that matters right now is the health of Zay T-Set.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's a high velocity sports. And you oftentimes, again, you don't think about it because these are young, strong, just very, very athletic young men. And James, so many times in these games, you think about the violent hits and the ones that look explosive and like, oh, he got his head knocked off. But because of the padding, oftentimes those are the ones you don't even really feel. But sometimes those ones that you don't even notice, they look harmless, they can be devastating because when you think about your spinal cord, your nervous system, so very fragile in there. When you have big bodies, 200-300 pounds moving at very fast speeds, the collision, the access of having that right there when the hit is happening, that you one little move can rewire something. And so the hope again is that they're just being very precautionary, but oftentimes when it takes this much time and you have the ambulance on the field, they're not even comfortable yet picking him up because you have to be so gentle and so aware. So this one is just devastating as both teams. It's just like a gut punch to the entire stadium. As you can feel it, James, we had the electricity in the air. And now to have this set where you can feel it, not a person in here is not worried or doesn't have that sick feeling thinking, oh my God, let's pray for this young man.
So we'll take a break as the medical staff continues to work with Zay T-Set. Oh, man. We'll be back in a moment. Back to Allegiant Stadium, Jackson State in front by a point, but all that matters right now is the health of Zay T-Set. He ran for 9 yards, and he is being carted into the ambulance. You can see him moving his mouth a bit, and they're just, again, precautionary to get him in this ambulance and get him to a hospital to take stock of where he's at. He was laid sprawled out for a good amount of time. The medical staff not wanting to do anything that could negatively affect him long term, and that's why they took their time, and that's what you want from this medical staff. T-Set is in the ambulance now, and the game will continue, but everyone a rise in volume as he was able to be carted off and still being able to move his mouth, and his mom down there with the athletic director for Grambling State, and just everybody hoping and praying and thinking of Zay T-Set right now as he is about to leave in the ambulance.
Oh, I know his mama right now is having a tough time just really, really maintaining. You see your baby boy out there on the field. That one is beyond soul crushing. So again, prayers, I don't care if you're religious or not, prayers go out. These are people, again, that you watch these young men. We've been cheering all day, and what a game it's been. To have something like this is beyond devastating.
So T-Set, who was 16 for 26, 2 passing touchdowns, also had a rushing touchdown today. Really a breakout game for him against the HBCU national champions. And this game meant a lot to Zay for multiple reasons, not just because they were taking on Jackson State, but because the last time he started at Southern was versus Jackson State, and he played well throughout the first half, and so there was extra added motivation for him, and he played like it throughout the entire contest. And so for him not to have a chance to really put his final stamp on the game is another thing that you think about, and really just hoping for the best that he can a chance to continue to play when that time comes. But right now, all that we are worried about is his health in this moment and the moments moving forward. So you see the ambulance leaving with the starting quarterback of Grambling State, Zay T-Set from Scotlandville, Louisiana, where Scotlandville High School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And
look at that.
There's his mom.
Energy. That's what mamas are all about, man. Mama love, you can't even touch that. So, yeah, you know, and again, as he's being taken away, I can promise you, yeah, he's bummed that he's missing out finishing this game, but also he would pray and hope that his teammates can now step up. He wants this victory as much as anybody, and that's going to be the challenge for his teammates, James. We've seen this before when that energy is taken out of a building, and then the emotional weight on that team right now.
The line of game was reached on the play, giving Grambling a first down. As a result, there will not be a 10-second runoff for the injured player. The clock will start on my signal.
And Laurencia Moden, who was down there on the field, has more on Zay.
Yeah, gentlemen, I'm down here on the sidelines. The mood is exactly what you would expect. The entire team is in tears, but they're using the energy to rally themselves forward and try to come away with a win. We were told by Grambling State's athletic director that Zay is going to head to UMC University Medical Center, where they will continue to do evaluations and let us know what's going on further. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Laurencia. Now, Byron Eaton comes in, and Eaton is tackled from behind. So the clock runs with 1:36 remaining. One timeout for Grambling State. As Jackson State leads by 1, the Tigers took the lead on their last possession, and they blocked an extra point earlier in this game, which is the only reason why we're not all square at 24. Talk with Coach Joseph about Byron Eaton Jr. He said he's more of a Wildcat quarterback, but he has to step up in this moment right now. Now the throw through the arms of the wide receiver. And on this second throw, it was Eamon Derensburg. Incomplete.
Well, James, one of the toughest things right now for this Grambling State team is just to emotionally try and reset, try and get back in that mindset of driving this football. The emotional part is so tough. So trying to amp that up right now, that's going to be one of their challenges, along with the Jackson State defense. You've got a brand new quarterback trying to do it. And I can tell you, Mickey Joseph is taking this as hard as anybody on that field because he cares blood, sweat, and tears about every one of his players.
So Grambling is 7 for 11 on third down. This is 4-down territory. Pressure is brought. Derensburg steps up, and he stopped near the line of scrimmage. So Coach Joseph is going to use that final timeout for this all-important 4th down play.
Timeout. Grambling. Their 3rd and final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Well, a beyond monumental challenge right now for these G-men and head coach Mickey Joseph. Just in his 2nd year last year, got the huge upset against Jackson State, the eventual national champions. His team in position to do it back-to-back seasons, and just all of the things falling against them in this final minute of play here. They need to right now dig deep in their souls, say prayers for their fallen teammate, and try to figure out a way to execute, James, on this 4th down to keep this drive alive.
First 4th down attempt of the day. And with no timeouts and 56 seconds remaining, Grambling State has got to have it.
One time for the G-men.
Derensburg facing pressure, steps up and is going to run. He picks it up.
Wow.
First down for Grambling State as Derensburg goes for 11, needing 9.
Derensburg in the clutch. T-set out of the action. And look at this young man. He's hungry. He knows where that marker is. Running for his life. Huge, huge 4th down execution. I can't tell you how tough that is to come off that bench and then shake the defense, get free. Monumental 1st down drive, still alive.
Ball at the 36, the target line is the 30 to have a chance. Can't take a sack here, and Derensburg has to go. Clock's going to continue to run. No timeouts for Grambling State. Loses 2. And decide to spike it to stop the clock. So now it's 3rd down and 12. And this is an intriguing situation with no timeouts, because really need 6 to 7 yards to give yourself a realistic chance for a field goal. But if the ball is caught inbound, then you have to get the field goal team out quickly.
Yeah, so now they have to be strategic, not only getting yardage, but being on the fringe of the sidelines to get somebody out of bounds. To your point, James, you get tackled, trust me, the defense is going to lay on you long and slow. They're going to try to milk this clock.
34 seconds remain.
Darrensburg back to throw.
Got some green.
Fires to the outside.
They're giving him a catch, I think.
Catch is made. So Barron Miles Jr. makes the catch, gets out of bounds, a gain of 6, and a chance for a field goal for Grambling.
Is a catch inbounds, 4th down.
Well, what a great catch to get his feet down. What a tough throw by Darrensburg, the southpaw across his body to connect. So it all comes down to one leg James Hadnot.
So a new kicker in. It's Josh McCormick.
I'm not sure he's wearing shoulder pads.
To take the lead from 44, McCormick!
Wow! Stay on the sideline, fellas. Don't want to get a penalty.
Is good! And Grambling State takes the lead.
James, this game truly has it all. Mind-blowing turn of event after turn, taken over. There's that penalty flag. What a finish we have happening. Look at this kid. Just into the game and watch him go. The celebration is on. He could be leading the band right now.
He did a Steph Curry look away. Doesn't even watch for very long. He knew it immediately. And Josh McCormick hits it to give Grambling State the lead. And now that world-famed marching band sings GS, GS, GSU as the Tigers are on top of the reigning HBCU national champions, and a look of disgust for TC Taylor.
Yeah, that is beyond deflating. They only have 20-plus seconds left on that clock. 21 seconds, but look at Mickey Joseph. His entire team went bananas. The chain of events that led up to this, you bring in a brand new kicker. Both starting quarterbacks are out. This is a game for the ages. The first ever Las Vegas HBCU Classic on HBCU Go. James, this is pure magic.
Grambling State leads by 2 with 21 seconds remaining.
This is just unreal, man. You couldn't have written this script up any cooler for a Hollywood blockbuster.
Back to receive is Travis Terrell, and he has a chance to return. The All-American shifting outside, and the clock stops at 14 seconds, a 17-yard return. And Jackson State has minimal time to keep their winning streak alive in FCS. The last team to beat them 14 games ago was Grambling State, September 21st, 2024. And right now, Grambling State looking like they might take down the champs again.
Well, you saw Mickey Joseph over there getting some cool water. Brother doesn't want to burst into flames, man. They are on fire right now. So 14 seconds, no timeouts for Jackson State. They've got to come up with a huge trick out of their bag.
So a flag comes in, 5 yards on the penalty for Jackson State. Makes this miracle a little bit tougher.
Ball start, offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Jared Lockhart already has a long throw to Nate Rembert, but it's different when the defense knows you have to go the length of the field. First down and 15 from their own 14. Lockhart getting some depth throws. Nate Rembert can't make the catch. 7 seconds remain.
I'll tell you what, if he can put that on, Nate Rembert has been money today, but again, the pressure on the defense, they're not letting anything be easy. 7 seconds, second down and 15, with a lot of field to cover to even get close to that field goal range.
On second down, Lockhart's in trouble. 4 seconds. Will run. This is the final play. Lockhart goes down, and Grambling State takes down the champs. The final, GSU 26, Jackson State 24.
An all-time classic. The two friends embrace, both wanting to take it to him, but I'm telling you, that is a big sign of respect. Big love, but when it comes to a game on a Saturday, they know they want to get that big chokehold and win big time. This game was phenomenal.
Grambling comes into Las Vegas as a 20-point underdog, but Sin City loves an underdog, and they take down the reigning HBCU national champions 26-24. Thank you for being a part of our winning audience today. Josh McCormick is the man down in Louisiana. This was the P&G Las Vegas HBCU Classic. It truly hit the jackpot. With John Kelly, Laurencia Moden, and our fantastic crew, my name is James Sadnow, saying so long from Sin City. Have a blessed evening.
Mickey J in that.